Baby. What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade during the midday. That is your boy Joey Options, and I'm Sharif. And we already have a couple of people already hanging out with us in the chat. Proper dang. We got Darwin, we got Ezekiel, Chef Joe, Vin 101, and the world's greatest mod. It is Bears versus Bulls, no question about it. We got none of you biz. We got one micro trader and Juan Padilla, J Dang Lee. I don't ever think I called you J Dang Lee, but you get a dang today, Jay. Shout out to you. We got Cass. We got Benjamin. How about Whiskey? Okay, we got Parker, Omega Zero, Brian Lemaster, the Sankofa. We got Nimrod. Shout out to my man Nimrod. Benjamin Wiki, 2 New York Gang Sense, Charmine Khan, Cesar Sandoval. I haven't done that in a while. Saista, Mike 44, and Phil Rich. How about TS Booger? Okay, Booger. We got Philip Boyd, 1320. Vern, Mr. Thumbs Up, will trade for food. Wakil, how about Benjamin again? Mr. Who else? What we got here? Uplift Markets. Yes, this market needs an uplift, please. Thank you. Vizbot, SM Cream, why not? Jose Gonzalez, Mr. Ian, Raids Mackin, Bbot 5,000 in stock up. Shout out to Dad Trader. We got Bold. We got Anthony, Vitali. I saw you yesterday. I like it. I like it. See you 2 days in a row. Paul E. Red Del Papa. One more, Joseph.
One more.
Smoky. Hold on. It's moving too fast. I lost it. Smoke and Vape. There we go.
Smoke and Vape.
TS Booger again. I know. It's Friday already. So people are already thinking about what they want to do on the weekend.
Yeah, I know. People are already thinking about what they're wanting to do. I mean, tough act to follow up here, Sharif, with Katina Man and Neil putting in a banger. But I think
like every day.
Hey, man. But we're here and we're ready and we're ready to get it going. Are we going over to Adair here real quick? All right, I didn't hear that. I gotta tap in here.
News here. So TSM, Taiwan Semi-On Watch, Nikkei up here in Japan reporting that these U.S. chip curbs are impacting China more than expected, leading TSMC, or Taiwan Semiconductor, to tighten their compliance. Apparently, they're telling their Chinese clients that their shipments require U.S. whitelist packaging suppliers, and basically they're taking apparently cautious approaches to avoiding violations. So just a report here, and TSM is reacting to these U.S. chip curbs. Keep an eye on this one, guys. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adara. All right, we got a banger on. We got some side charts going. We got the lesson, but everybody wants to know, how bad are we getting hit on the sectors?
Oh my days. I think it's time we start from the bottom up today. We're going to switch it and see what we got going on, guys. So in third last, we have real estate down about 0.6, and then materials down about 0.9 as well. But consumer discretionary taking a beating today, Sharif. I think being led by Tesla, down about 1.4% on the session there, guys. So a little bit of a sector rotation, some money coming out of this big cap tech here, guys, flowing into energy, the only positive sector this far, only up about 0.2 there, guys. Utility sitting in second, negative on the session, down about 0.1, and same as healthcare sitting in third place there, guys. A tough look there. I pulled up the put to call ratio here, and it's looking pretty hefty right now. I have a put to call ratio of 1.28, so that can signal some bear sentiment, Sharif. I'm curious in the chat. Let me know what data you guys have on that, and let me know if that's accurate. But we got a banger of a lesson here with Sharif on some futures. Let's get right into it.
Yes, man. We're continuing our talk on these futures trades today. Specifically, we're going to talk about the implied balance high and the implied balance low. Used to be really championed this theory or this concept by a person in the chat by the name of Dan Emmons. I used to call him Dan the Man Emmons. Haven't seen him in a while, but this is a page out of his book. Let's dive right into it. So this lesson deals with the concept of implied balance high and implied balance low of the opening range in the intraday futures trading. Okay, so we're talking about a very specific time period here. Intraday, we'll explore what they are, how to identify them, and how to use them to make informed trading decisions throughout the trading day. Let's go, as we always do, explain things at a high level. The opening range of a futures contract represents the initial buying and selling pressure at the market open. So the IBH and the IBL, implied balance high, implied balance low, are technically not price points, but rather zones that represent potential areas of both support and resistance based on the opening activity. So just imagine an area high and an area low. I'll get more specific in a second. So the implied balance high, this is the highest price reached within the first hour. So the highest price within the first hour after the open, suggesting initial buying interest, okay? And then the implied balance low, kind of the exact opposite, right? So this is the lowest price reached within the first hour after the open, suggesting the initial selling interest. Well, how do you identify it? Well, that's pretty simple. Your time frame, though. Let's talk about this. So the time frame, you're focusing on a shorter term time frame. Now, what that means to you is going to be a little bit different. You might look at the 1, the 5, the 3, the 10, the 15, whatever it is. It's an intraday time frame that you're observing this on, okay? So shorter term time frame, like a 15-minute or a 30-minute. Opening range. You identify the high and the low price within the first hour after the open. So if you're in Eastern Standard Time, that takes you to 10:30. If you're anywhere else, do the math, okay? Your implied balance high. So you're looking for the highest price tick within that first hour. So we know that, on your chart, it's going to say 8:30, right? Because the futures are Chicago, CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange. We're behind Eastern. So typically on my chart, the implied balance high will be from 8:30 to 9:30. But if I was to actually look at it local time, 9:30 to 10:30. I hope that didn't confuse anybody. Your IBL, your implied balance low, you're looking for the lowest price tick within this range. This is your implied balance low. So let's just do a little bit of an easy example right now. Let's go ahead and load up the NQ, which is obviously the futures contract. So we'll go Future, we'll go March, and this is the 5. So here it is. So where is my 8:30? This is my 8:30 candle right here. So let's go ahead and just put a vertical trend line on my 8:30 candle so I know exactly where the starting print starts from, okay? And then, what's the highest point within this range? Well, right there, this candle right here. So what's the high of this candle? 21,968. So we're going to drag up the level 21,968. Right there, that's 9, same crap, okay? And then, where's 10:30 at? Well, that would mean 9:30 on my chart, right here. So we're going to grab a vertical trend line, and we're going to put that bad boy at 9:30. And then what's the low there? Well, it's this candle here. Over here, right at 9:10. The low of that candle, 21,686. So we'll go ahead, draw a horizontal trend line within that level. So 21,686. So our implied balance high, for the sake of example, would be up here, and our implied balance low would be right here. Our opening range is right there, and the 1 hour after the opening range is right there. So you kind of have that boxed in or rectangled in. You know exactly what the high, the low, the opening range time, and the closing range time. Super simple, right? Now we'll talk about how to use it. So how do you trade with the implied balance high and the implied balance low? So these zones act as potential, underline that word, potential turning points throughout the trading day. Here are some scenarios. So your breakout. If the price decisively breaks above the implied balance high, it suggests a bullish continuation. So you're looking here for increased buying volume. To confirm, my boy Joseph probably would agree with that. Once you get that big boy breakout, you want to see, is it being supported by volume, or are there just a lack of sellers really to take the other side of the trade there? So you're looking for increased buying volume to confirm. Conversely, a break below the implied balance low with rising volume might suggest a bearish continuation. Again, volume very operative here. And then it can also work for the retest. So we just explained a breakout trade. We can also talk about a retest of a support or resistance level. So the price might retrace towards that implied balance high or down to that implied balance low before continuing its direction. So you have to observe if the price finds support at the implied balance low, a potential long entry, or it finds resistance at the potential or at the implied balance high, which would suggest to you a potential short entry there. You're looking for volume. Again, I want to stress this. You're looking for volume confirmation on the retest for stronger signals. Okay, let's talk about the price action and volume characteristics that you should be on the lookout for. With respect to price action, you're looking for strong price rejections. Okay, for example, candlesticks with large upper wicks at the implied balance high or long, up lower wicks at the implied balance low zone for more significant than just that are, or these are more significant than just a weak touch and then a move off. Oftentimes, we're always talking about topping tail candles, bottoming tail candles. Well, why are we mentioning those? Because what it's signifying to you is once it gets into that price zone, it's triggering so many buy or sell orders that it behooves you to take note of it, okay? So think of that as an important characteristic, excuse me. Then volume. Increased volume on a breakout or increased volume on a breakdown of the implied balance low zone strengthens the signal. So conversely, low volume on breakouts might signal to you a false breakout or a false breakdown. So super important to juxtapose the volume that the breakout or the breakdown manifested with, as opposed to, and compare that to the previous volume candles throughout the day. And again, you only have about an hour that you're charting there, so you don't have to compare it to too much, okay? So think about that. And then important considerations to keep in mind when you're using implied balance high and implied balance low. They're certainly not foolproof indicators of any kind and should be used in conjunction, as we always say, with other technical indicators and other technical analysis tools. And the market conditions also play a really important role here. In strong trending markets, breakouts may be more reliable, while in choppy markets, when we're in a consolidative range, false signals are more likely. So you're going to say to me, well, how do I know if we're in a trending market or a consolidative market? Well, have a look at the future. I mean, load up that daily, load up that 4 hour. Are we ranging? What's the range? Are we breaking out from that range? Have we broken out from that range before and rejected? What was the volume like when we broke out and rejected? Do your homework, find out what the trend is before you want to rely on any one strategy, okay? And then I also want to stress that these zones are dynamic. As day trading progresses, the open's influences weakens, right? Consider using higher time frames like the daily or the longer term support and resistance. So here's what I mean by that. So we've charted our implied balance high and our implied balance low right here on the NQ. All right, that's great. That's 1 hour in the day. That's literally the first hour of official trading. But what happens when we get into like 2 and 3 o'clock? What's the importance of that implied balance high and low? As we get longer and longer throughout the day, the importance of the IBH and the IBL dwindles. It becomes less and less important, especially if we've really taken it out or dropped below it, right? It may act as support or resistance if we retest it, that implied balance high if we're above it, or that implied balance low if we're below it. But you should be basing your trades less and less on it as the trading day progresses. Y'all know what I'm going to say. I hope everybody, including even the people I don't like in the chat, print up a storm.
All right, here we go, guys. I mean, let's see what we got going on. A little bit of a tougher one for me this morning, that's for sure. Choppy, so just full disclosure, not much going on, and that's okay because there's always, we still got a lot of time and there's always going to be another day. But what we're going to do is go over a couple of tickers for individuals that have asked me nicely and kindly to do so. So what we're going to start off with is MGOL. I was just reading a little bit about this company. It's kind of in the retail space and just about like kind of common or domestic native clothing brands on MGOL. Let's zoom out and see what we got going on from a further perspective. But as of right now, doesn't look horrible on an intraday chart, starting to climb higher, trading really nice in the pre-market here. And so we'll see what we got going on from a daily standpoint. And yeah, I mean, a gap up, not something that I personally would be looking to get involved with for a long period of time or much at all, to be frank. But I mean, it's sitting at like, the market cap of this thing, Sharif, is only about 3 million. So this is like really, really micro cap stuff here. But yeah, that's the look. Maybe it'll start to recover, but not something that I would necessarily look to get involved with. I don't know enough about that company. And then we're also hearing a lot about NVDA. A lot of people are trading NVDA as well today. I thought that we were going to climb higher, maybe go somewhat to 131, 132, but it doesn't seem to be the case, especially with Donald Trump in office now and possibly just sending the market into a complete whirlwind here.
Come on,
But
Donald.
come on, Donald. But I mean, here we go. I do still think that we can break through some of these highs here. 130.39 is the high a day as of right now. We're holding some nice bases here. The pre-market lows, this pre-market consolidation range, and a nice doji right here as well. So if we break through and open up below 128.50, then maybe there's going to be some more downside. But as of right now, I think that we can continue to move. As the market sold off, NVDA has held pretty tight. So I think that we climb at some point to that high a day. And as of right now, it's looking like we are going to. So continue to monitor that. Microsoft is really weak today, guys, as well as Google and Amazon is also starting to climb lower. Well, I'm sure Sharif and I will talk about the report in a bit, but here we go with Microsoft and then Google as well too, guys. I was looking to open up a swing trade on this, but as of right now, it's just not setting up how I want to, and that's okay. So we'll just be really patient. We'll wait for that turnaround signal to display itself, and then we'll take this thing back to the top side because this thing is still a fantastic company, even though they're spending a little bit more money than the street would like. So what? The fundamentals are still there, and the earnings is definitely backing that up so far. Cloud down a little bit. The growth isn't like what the street was expecting, 32% year over year, and they came in at 30. Like, boo-hoo, you know what I mean? These things are still growing at rapid paces, a little bit under estimates, but that's okay. So yeah, that's how I feel about Alphabet, to be honest with you, Sharif. That's a company that I'm buying the dip at any point, really.
Oh yeah, it's a monster, bro. And I mean, I like so many tailwinds on that, but they're getting hit hard ever since earnings, down almost 3% today. Google down 2.95, Goog down 2.84. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. All right, guys, I've weaseled into a trade over here. LTBR, it's up nicely on the day. 24%. We've already wet our beak a couple of times there on the squeeze up into 30. So it's a bit illiquid. As you can see, I've had multiple resting orders. This one blew through one of my orders at 11:30, and it even got to my second order at 11:35, neither of which filled. Okay, so you're gonna have to be careful with this one. Right now it's a 7-penny spread on LTBR. It's got a great looking pattern. It's got higher lows, got higher highs. It did topping tail though at 1161. But most importantly, when it topping tailed, at least on the 5, it still did defend that 10 exponential. So it held the level. You just feel like either somebody big was taking profits at that 2/3 of a dollar, or someone was instituting a short, but was it strong enough to keep bringing it down? We'll talk more about this, BBAI, VSAT, and the others when we get back from Midday.
Keep an eye here, keep an eye here on CRSP getting an influx of volume right now. You have a post circulating on social media from SciTech Daily suggesting apparently that University of California, San Francisco scientists have apparently pioneered a groundbreaking approach to cancer treatments using CRSP technology. I want to mention though, this article is from 3 days ago. This is not a new article, but it's circulating on social media now, so it's getting a little bit of a spike for CRISPR. So again, CRSP moving up in volume on a 3-day-old article. Back to you.
Got it, Dara. All right, here's what we're looking at, guys. This is one of the better platforms out there, baby, and I'm not going to keep pounding the table about this, but every time I play around with eSignal, it's got better and better, and I discover more options, obviously. So here's what I'm looking at. Everybody's talking about BBAI as well. They should be. It's up big on the day. We're talking 25.25% right now. Good look. It's up and to the dang right. Look at this. We're really getting extended away from VWAP. VWAP's hanging out at 7.25. We're at 8.50. 7.75, excuse me. The volume weighted average price. We're hanging out here at 8.50. We just took out the high, Neil. 8.53. This one is on one. Big Bear dang AI is taking out highs. It's looking to go 26%. You know, I mean, I don't have the 10 exponential up here, so I'm going to have to show you this side chart. Look how well it is just shadowing that 10 exponential. I mean, if you put your order to retrace onto the 10 exponential, I mean, literally at any point since the market opened today, you're in the dang money. Okay, so good luck right now on Big Bear. We're gonna have to weasel away into this trade. I'd like it right now at 8.25. Wherever the 10 exponential is once it pulls back. If this thing so much as glances at the 10 exponential, I'm a buyer. I'm talking about Big Bear AI. It's got to weasel a little bit back down. I'm not punching in at the highs over here, but definitely keeping my eye out on that one. Big Bear AI. We're going to talk about VSAT as well. VSAT. Again, you're not getting much of a big move. We're only up 17%. But look at this bull flag, bro. I mean, somebody's got to tell this thing that it's got to consolidate for a little bit longer, because we're looking like we're on the second leg here, or sorry, not the second leg, but the second bull flag formation kind of broke out from that pennant with higher lows but lower highs. And here we go again. We took out 11 bucks. Now we're on our way with a high of the day of 11.15. This is another one that's very respectful. Let's show you the side chart here. Bottom down here, look at how well it is shadowing the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. That green line being very well respected by the price action. So this is another one where I think it might be a good idea to try to get in on the 10 exponential. Unless you get that real deep retracement, then I'm looking at VWAP. So no doubt about it, VSAT on watch. There's more. Obviously, I mentioned LTBR, but there's OKLO, the Sam Altman, what's it called? Energy play, the nuclear energy play by I think he's involved in this one. This one just breached VWAP quick as you like, and now it's right back above it. Now, this is a bit more expensive. I'm talking about OKLO. We're talking about 50 some odd bucks, so you're going to have to ante up some money here. But this is a hell of a great looking bull flag. And if we hold this level, you know, a perfunctory breach of the volume weighted average price, and then we start making some higher highs and higher lows, well, this would just be a beautiful looker. And there it goes, dude. It wants to take out 57. We're just talking about this thing about 55 and a half. It's going to take out 57. So fantastic look right now on OKLO. The only thing is, we've got a whole bunch of lower highs. So I'd like to see a decided trend change here. We're putting a downward channel on the flag component. We definitely need that breakout to get things going here. But OKLO is on one. And bang, Joseph! We take out 11.35 now on LTBR. Now I'm going to wait at 11.5 for long 15s. So LTBR is on one, baby. We're going to look for that 55 print. I'm taking that 55 print. Very specific reason. The high of the dang day is 59 or 60. So I'm trying to front run the size, thinking, you know, when we get that high of the day, we could meet some selling. Joseph, LTBR.
Hey, that's it. Yeah, Juice had something very interesting in the chat. He said, I had the right strategy, but execution was very bad. Happens. That was me today to a T. Uber's moving. Let's take a look at Uber, because I know Sharif was just talking about it here, and he's mentioning to Adair, is anything going on? So we're going to pull up to Uber. Oh, okay, here we go. Big volume spike here, Sharif. So we're going to send it off to Adair. Big volume here, guys.
Bill Ackman here commenting on Uber. So I would have mentioned he's done this in the past where he's already had a position in something and then posted about it to get a move to the upside. Basically posting on X saying that beginning in early January, he started acquiring a position in Uber and currently owns 33.3 million shares. So 33.3 million shares owned by Bill Ackman and Uber. Why I want to add a caveat here is because he did the same thing with Fannie Mae, where he posted a bull case about it after admitting he was pretty significantly out of the money on it. So I just want to give you guys caution there with Bill Ackman. But UBER pushing to the upside again. 33.3 million share position for Bill Ackman. I'm assuming the we refers to Pershing Square, his fund, guys. Back to you.
Uber.
Big Billy Ackman, my man.
Big Billy.
Man, that $60 level on Uber is, as Adair used to do, chef's kiss, baby. Oh, man. On that 60. Oh, man, on that 60.
Is that what
Joseph,
you did,
we held it for weeks, bro.
All right, rub
we
it
held that 60 for weeks. I mean, like,
rub
what
it
else
in,
could we say?
No, nice look there, man. I mean, beautiful stuff. Like, look at this zone that it's been trading in. 60 been holding for weeks, my guy says. And what does he do? He adds into the position as well, too. So, big Sharif over here, adding over to this Uber position. Nice look there, my guy, and nice little swing trade you got going on. You said you're holding it for a while, so
yeah,
nice
I'm gonna hold it for a little bit.
Yeah, why not, man? It's working now, so you may as well continue
it's
to.
Small size, but you know, we're gonna hold it.
Hold on to that. But here we go, guys. This market looking like it wants to take another leg down, and hey, guess what? I'm gonna be on the wrong side of this. It seems to be the case. So if we open up below this range, got to get out of these trades. As of right now, as well, guys, NVDA has the inability to break that 129.50. So forming some lower highs. highs. We got to be weary of this because if we continue to break down and NVDA wants to break that 129.50, I think it's going to drag the overall market with it. So we got to take a gander and see what we got going on, and hopefully we can hold these levels. We are forming somewhat of a wedge. We got higher lows as well too, guys, but also putting in lower highs. So you can see that price action starting to compress. We need to watch out for this, and if it decides to go to the downside, we got to get out of Dodge and reassess that situation. Amazon continuing to move to the south side as well, Sharif.
Yes, sir.
Not looking too good. That CapEx number, the street not liking that.
100 billion.
100 billion.
Insane.
So yeah, it's a lot. The streets, what were the streets estimates? 78, 75. Yeah. So there it is. There you go. Almost 25% more than what the street was actually looking for, guys. So that's a whole lot of money. I mean, I was thinking to myself, I heard somebody say the other day, Sharif, it'll take you like a day or two to count to a million or something. It's like, yeah, it takes a while. Well, yeah. So it's actually essentially impossible to account to a billion. That's how big it is. It takes like, it would take you like 35 years or something like that.
I think like living a billion seconds is like.
I don't even know, but I don't even know. So it's near impossible. That's how astronomical these numbers are, guys. Just huge, huge, huge numbers. But it's looking like Amazon's going to head to the south side here, Sharif.
Okay, Molfar and Day Trader Cut both reporting the same thing. And here's what they're saying. The timing of reciprocal tariffs is premature for today, but could be on the agenda next week. Literally being echoed by Molfar and Day Trader Cut. Word for word. Thank you for that, both of you guys. Absolutely killing it there. I do appreciate when you guys, show stuff that we don't have eyes on. So that is being spoken about right now. We're going to have to send it to Adair. She's got more news.
Yeah, I was just about to report on that. Basically, that is just from CNBC. That is in no way confirmed. So just to give some people context, Reuters had reported about, I think around 10:45 here, 10:50, that basically we were going to be getting reciprocal tariffs. Donald Trump had been speaking to Republican staffers about that, and we were expecting these tariffs as early as today, but that was just a report from Reuters. Now we get another report from CNBC. Again, neither of these have been confirmed, and CNBC says, well, these reports might not be today, or these tariffs might not be today, but they could be next week. So both of these are reports. We have zero confirmation on either of them. I really just want to stress that, guys. Back to you.
Like that those comments are making any difference, that it's not for today, because as Adara just had her chart there on the triple Qs, we're just still making lower lows, baby. So it could be a bit of a tough day for the personal today.
Greg had a tough day. That goes without saying. Absolutely brutal day for the personal. Greg V says the thing is, no company increases CapEx unless they see a growth opportunity and they expect strong free cash flow. Perfect. What's bad? But I think that's very valid. Do you think that these guys are going to be putting in billions of dollars and not expect any form of return? It wouldn't make sense. They're too smart, but let's see what Adair is up to.
Sorry, guys, more news. I'm sure there will be a lot of these interruptions today, but this one actually not tariff related. We have on watch here MGNI. This company is called Magnite, and they are an advertising tech company. Business Insider reporting that Magnite has actually signed a partnership here with Elon Musk's X. So X here, that is the company formerly known as Twitter, it is not US Steel, apparently entering a partnership with this ad technology company, MGNI. So MGNI, Elon Musk-related partnership, pushing into that $20 level, guys. Back to you.
All right, guys, here we go. LTBR, I'm waiting here at 55s. It's showing me 50s. I did this yesterday with Donald John Pump, and I lamented not having taken it out in front of 60s. 52s now showing up on the dang ask again here, and I'm waiting at 55s, but the spread a little wide. 51s now, zagging. I'm trying to, think about whether I should take it out here in front of the $0.50. It looks as if it might be encountering some resistance, as the French would say. So I'm waiting up here at 55s. Let's see if we get the print. 50s now showing up. So incrementally lower and lower. What's the time and sales saying? We're getting 53 prints up in this you-know-what. So how come we're not moving up a little bit more? Okay, so let's see. 52 mid prints over here. Again, some 52 prints showing up. 52 back on the ask. We're up 28.5, but it doesn't look like it's forthcoming. That's the end of the trade. We'll take it out there. And if I lose a couple of pennies on it, that's fine. So decent trade right now on LTBR. Let's now either look for something else or look to get more money out of LTBR. Well, how do I do that? Well, the 10 exponential that's being defended here on LTBR is at around 11.25. Let's throw another order out there. We're going to put it right at that 25 penny area for a dip trade. But guys, there's a whole lot more going on other than the one that I'm just trading right here. Let's bring in the side chart because they're all moving, baby. Let's bring it in. BBAI is on one right now. I think we're going to go 30%. 873, we just printed that high. VSAT keeps on going and going and going. It's like the dang Energizer Bunny, and I can't get anything in despite the fact that I have a dip trade waiting at 11 bucks. Why 11 bucks? Well, it's a whole dollar, and it is also a previous area of resistance. We rejected off $11, and in addition to that, it's the 10 exponential, which VSAT has been very respectful of. So I'd like to be able to kind of put the odds in my favor, get something in on VSAT on a predictable level. You'll see up at the top right-hand corner over here, CDT is doing the dance with absolutely no underwear or pants south of the volume weighted average price, and it's had a lot of trouble taking out the volume weighted average price. Even when we had a lot of volatility and volume coming in right at the open there, 320 was the best that we could do. But look at that pre-market high. That pre-market high goes all the way up into 394. So this is going to have to get way closer to the high threes for me to even get interested in on it. So we're going to throw in an alert here in the 380. So if this bad boy starts breaking up towards that high $3 area where we have advanced notice of it and we can weasel in. Affirm, an earnings winner. This thing's up 22%, trading like a dang small cap gapper. Now, it's had a bit of zig and zag, which is fine, right? So that opening print takes us into the high of the day. 76.88 is HOD. Then we drop bigly, as the orange one would say. 70.50 off that 76.88 high of the day. But look what we do. We retrace right back above to the volume weighted average price. And now I perceive us to be locked in a bit of a range. About 75.33 to the high side with the volume weighted average price at around 73.5 to the low side over here. I'd like something towards the lower end of that range, maybe 74, 73.75. Let's see, we're already getting a topping tail candle despite wicking above this 75.5, 75.33 top end of the range. So Affirm is certainly in play right now. We could get a trade on that. SMR, I've got it up here because it was bull flagging. It's south of VWAP right now. OKLO, I was waxing poetic about that, reclaiming VWAP, but it is still putting its pattern of lower highs. So I'm still, not looking for a breakout trade. I'd like something off support possibly, but there's just so many to talk about, so many good trades right now. And it makes it harder for me. I don't know how you guys feel, but when there's so many good ones, it feels hard to narrow down which one to trade. And sometimes I feel a little bit overwhelmed, not knowing exactly which one to look at. So BBAI and VSAT look the two best right now, in addition to LTBR, which is the one that I was involved in. Joseph, what do you got?
Yeah, let's see. We got out of Google here and then got right back in. We are punching through these lows, which isn't good. So forming those lower highs here, guys, and then now making a new leg down, which isn't the best scene that I want to be, not what I want to be displaying right now anyways. So we gotta really be patient and maybe wait for these signals to turn around and be a little bit more clear, because right now, just on the wrong side, the longs aren't working for me, and that's okay. But let's see what Adair's up to.
Yeah, I have a little bit more context here on this Uber here from Bill Ackman. I read through the whole post. Basically, he said that he's been a fan for many years. Apparently, he was introduced to the app by actor Edward Norton. And he said that he feels the management was initially not good, but now that they have Dara Khosrowshahi as the CEO, they think the company has really turned around. Since then, he also says that it's one of the highest quality businesses in the world that could be purchased at a massive discount. So he's really trying to, for lack of a better term, hype up his Uber investment here, because they do have 30.3 million shares. That also seems like a misprint. Initially, we were seeing people say 33 million shares. He actually has 30 million shares here of UBER. So keep an eye on that here. Again, Bill Ackman announced that he has 30.3 million shares of Uber, and they started the position in early January. Back to you.
I'm liking Bill Ackman a lot more now, bro.
Like Billy?
Yeah, Big Billy.
Big Bill now, man. Big Bill Ackman. Yeah, guys, a little bit of a tough one, as I mentioned. Uber's still steadily climbing. But again, we're going to have to wait for a pullback. We don't want to chase it too much at the highs here, and that's okay. So if it's really strong, we know Bill Ackman has, Ackman or whatever his name is, has now 33 million shares. So I wonder if that's going to continue to move it higher.
He's laughing because Aikman, right?
Yeah, I know.
Of course.
Yeah, of course you would.
Neil.
It's a Troy. Come on, man. We're not talking about
I don't think he's
Troy.
laughing at you, bro. He's more like laughing at me.
The Troy, he obviously is Troy. But I mean...
Get it, Troy.
Get it, Troy. But NVDA... I think it's just time to follow the trend right now. Guys, I mentioned the put-to-call ratio being slightly elevated, so we're just going to have to go with what is being displayed from a data standpoint, and that's to the downside, Sharif. 1.28 on the put-to-call ratio, extremely bullish, so anything north of 0.7 is when there's going to be more puts being purchased than calls, my guy.
I said I'd get back in at the 10 exponential, and I got back in at the 10 exponential on the dang 5 on LTBR. I've got the $0.25. I just took out another pop into 40s. We scalped out into 35s and 40s. And I've got another order now hanging out at 45s. So let's see exactly what we get and not get upset here. LTBR continuing to put in those higher highs and higher lows. I don't want to overstay my welcome on this bad boy. I don't know how long it's going to take for us to take out that high of the day. We've been lofting over here below that 1161 print for a hot minute. So let's continue to watch. Here's 45s now. I'm waiting at 46. Okay, now we're showing 46, and bang, we take it out again. So now we're going to wait again near that high of the day. Now, since I've done a little bit better on this one, let's put it at 59s and see what we get there. See if we can actually test that high of the day. 1161 on LTBR. A couple of ins on this one, several outs. Let's see if we can continue moving up here on this monster. Big Bear finally getting a red candle. It's been a hot minute since a red candle manifested on the Baird one, but let's talk about this one because it's pulling back a little bit, and I was waxing poetic to take this off the 10 exponential. Here is the 10 exponential. It's at 840. Okay, now it's been like, look what happened last time when we got a 2-candle retracement on Big Bear. We didn't even touch the 10. So you got to be ready to front run the 10 possibly on Big Bear. So in this particular instance, on the last 2-candle pullback on the 5, we got down to 786. Well, the 10 was at 776, so you might have to front run this by 10 or 15 pennies in order to get in. Otherwise, this one might leave you. Or you might have to wait for that deeper retracement. We've talked about this. So one that going to the 20 exponential or that come into VWAP. Right now, VWAP's at 785. We're printing 858, so it'd have to be a gnarly retracement there. So that's what I'm waiting on right now. I don't have an order for Big Bear. Let's throw out an order. Actually, I don't even think I'm going to throw it in order right now. I need to see how deep this is going to get into the retracement zone. This is on the New York. So Big Bear is on the New York, guys. Don't forget that. Don't be a schmuck like me and always hit the NQ. So we're zigging, we're zagging right now. We've got a bit of a hammer candle right now as I perceive it on Big Bear, on the 5 that is, of course. We'll have to see how this one closes. 873 the high, 858 the current price. Let's keep an eye out on this one and see if we can get something. All right, 54s now. Sorry to jump around between different stocks. 56 is now showing up on the ask. I'm waiting at 59s. So let's see if we can get something up here, Joseph. I'm front running the size at 61, but you know, the 59s, it looks like it's a little bit too close here to get the print. So I'm going to pack my patience and see exactly what's up. What are you guys looking at in the chat? Nope, wait on Big Bear AI, says drop trades. Okay, my man. I think I got kind of the same idea as you, but the current 5-minute candle has a higher low above the previous candle. So I'm kind of fearing that I may not even get an opportunity. So strong is Big Bear on the day, Joseph Wilson.
Yeah, 2NY has been asking me to take a look at SMCI for him. I know he wants to do some earnings play. So what I did is 2NY, hopefully you're listening right now, or otherwise I'll tell you to just rewind and check it out what I'm about to talk about here. So here we go. We're pulling up the February 14th expiration cycle. And what I'm seeing here is a lot of open interest north of 38. Okay, so 38, we have 13K shares. 13K open contracts. And then the next highest is 40. That 40 strike price has about 13.9 open contracts as of right now. Too. So that is to the top side there on SMCI 2NY. But then to the downside, I'm not seeing anything that really is eye-popping at this point. So the highest open interest on the put side for that cycle, for that expiration cycle, is that 30 strike price, putting about 3.5 open contracts right there. So that is the highest to the put side, or even 22. Sorry, 22 would be the next target, about 4.5 open contracts right now for that February 14th on the put side. Not really close, about 20% of what is the highest on the call side. So slightly bullish there to NY. Hopefully you heard that. We can pull it up from a daily perspective. We'll send it off to Adair in just 1 second here. Gonna look at SMCI from a daily standpoint and see what we got going on. If we break this, then we can definitely tap into 40 and then possibly tap into these 50s. Again, I don't know how the fundamentals on this stock are going to be. I think that's going to be really important, but let's see what Adair is up to.
Eye on Tesla and any EV charging related stocks like BLNK. Basically here, we're seeing Washington Post reporting that the Trump administration has ordered states to halt their EV charging program. So that could basically be a bit of a risk here for the billions of dollars that are sent to flow for these fast EV chargers. So keep an eye on TSLA, keep an eye on BLNK and anything EV and charging related here. Also, DraftKings on watch. The CEO of the company just said that he expects the Super Bowl day to be its, quote, biggest day ever. So keep an eye on DraftKings. Back to you.
Thank you for that, as always, Adair. Guys, I just want to talk a little bit about NVDA before we send it back off to Sharif. Look at all these candles on the 5 minute just overlapping one another. Prices really starting to compress, and I think at this point we can determine that, hey, it's just going to be a little bit of a chop fest for me and my style as a breakout trader right now. So I really need to be patient on this one and let that volume dictate which way I'm going to take this trade and continue to take this trade. So as of right now, taking multiple stabs at it, and I'm swinging and missing here, so I really got to wait for that volume to step in. Once again, I said that you see all these candles on the 5 minute really overlapping each other. Pay attention to that. Once that volume steps in, kind of like it is right now, we'll be able to determine which way this thing is going to go. Dang.
We had to.
Man.
Bang.
Dang.
Little anticlimactic.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hit that. That's all right. That's all right.
Ram. What do you think about this out right here? Not bad, right?
Waiting for that fill.
Ram. Not bad. It's just told me in my ear in like a very subdued way. All right, guys, we took out the print, 11.59 print on LTBR, so we got the ad at the $0.25. Again, the reason I got into it at the $0.25, very simple. It's been very respectful of the 10 exponential moving average on the 5 minute chart. I'm talking about LTBR. Have a look, that green line, that is the 10 exponential. If it's doing it once, twice, dang thrice, you know, it puts the odds on your side. It's not a guaranteed trade. There's nothing that's guaranteed. But it puts the odds on your side, and that's all we're doing here, trying to statistically put good trades on. So LTBR at the highs right now, Joseph, zigging and zagging at 58. Now it's time for me to get serious here because I've been waxing poetic about VSAT and how strong it's been as well off the 10 exponential. Get it, Adara. But now I did not get in at the level, and this one gave me 12s. Now, I was trying to be cheap and frugal. I was waiting for 11s. I said, look at the chop and churn at $11. I'm willing to bet this comes to 11. And the market gave me a gesture, a non-flattering gesture. And then it started making its move right back to the high side. Currently, we have a candle of indecision that printed on the 5 minute chart at 1140. Let me show you what I mean. I can show you right here if I can just zoom in a little bit. This candle of indecision is interesting. What I want to see is, do we make a new high? It looks like we are making a new high here, so I'm going to weasel in, and I'm going to scalp very, very little about this. We've got a 3 penny spread, so it's not bad. Not bad. Now, what's my move here if I get in and then it drops? Well, let me tell you, anything below 11.11. So I can risk that. Let's go ahead and see if we can get 26s. We do. Okay, good. So then here's what we're going to do. We're going to throw out some orders up here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put that stop in the low 11s. It's going to have to hold that level. Otherwise, I want no smoke. Okay? So that's the situation right now. I'm in at 26s. It's going to zig and zag. It's got a topping tail candle right now. First touch it's had at the 10 exponential, to be honest with you, since 1040. So that was an hour ago. the last time it touched the 10 exponential. So I'm not punching in at highs over here, but if I do, my downside is quite limited. I'm going to insist that it hold the 10 exponential, even if I'm wrong and it bounces off 11. That's fine with me. I don't want to give back anything that I don't need to give back. So VSAT long 11 1/4. Joseph, listen.
Hey, yeah, Jerome Hat, no problem, my guy. Greg sent me a little interesting piece as well, too. Dude, I totally agree with you on that. We were talking about it not too long ago, but it's the CapEx and then maybe an AWS slightly slowing down in growth as well, too. So those are a couple things that we're going to monitor, but this thing's still a buy, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. Let's take a look at what it's doing right now as well, too, guys. Starting to head towards some key support levels. Is it going to break? Maybe these hold as well, too, Sharif. Some of these pre-market consolidation levels, we're going to keep an eye out on that, because then maybe we go and test that pre-market low as well, too. If this market really wants to head to the south side. Jerome Hat was asking me about the put to call ratio, and I'm saying it's elevated today, 1.28. So here we go. When I looked at it this morning and I told Sharif, now we're selling, so it all makes sense. All it needed was a little spark to ignite the flame, and here we go, down to the downside. The market continuing to bleed, a whole lot of red, Adara. I know you like that album, so there we go.
You got a clap.
Yeah, I got a big
there,
clap
bro.
because we were talking about it, that album the other day. So that's that. Let's see about Amazon. I might look to get into this short here, guys. But again, if we don't break this with any momentum, then this thing can bounce at any given moment. So 2NY. Joe, thank you for the SMCI. No problem, my friend. $5 super chat. We appreciate you. Goes a long way. And I told you, man, anytime you message me about something, we'll definitely take a look into it. If I forget, just remind me and we'll go over. But here we are in some NVDA. We'll look to start taking a little bit off here as we break some of these lows, because I feel this thing could bounce at any given moment. And I was slightly bullish on this, but is this another opportunity to add into the position? Tapping up to almost close to 131 on the session. I was like, oh, I should have grabbed a little more this morning. But I mean, patience is good. So pack it and eventually hold off. And I think you can get much better prices on these things. So only time will tell, and we'll be ready to take advantage of it if it displays itself. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna get into some Amazon right now. What do you got going on over there, my guy?
So you probably already heard that the fight's off,
know,
right?
And now it's back. And now the thing is back on. Yeah.
Jake Paul, you know he's not gonna stay quiet.
No.
Right, here it is.
Said he's scared now.
Yeah, of course. You know what's coming. Canelo Alvarez ducked me. Jake Paul. It's not surprising when his whole career he has done nothing for the sport of boxing outside the ring. I'm the new face of boxing. You cannot have the biggest fight of 2025 without my name involved. Bro, this dude's delusional.
Repeat that last bit.
Here it is. I am the new face of boxing.
Yeah.
You cannot have the biggest fight of 2025 without my name involved. Okay, Jake. I mean,
yeah, you know what? I'm gonna be honest, man. I think he's spitting a little truth right here.
Bud is a bigger draw. I think Bud's a bigger draw. And for real boxing, if you want non-boxing fans related to watch the fight, sure. Because he's,
But see, the thing is, though, okay, so we all know that Bud is great and Canelo is great, but that's for the boxers.
That's what I'm saying.
Now what you just said, so now Jake Paul has the real boxing fans all teed off, right? Because he's like, why is this guy getting these big names? But then now he's also getting a whole additional viewer base, people who don't even really know anything about the combat sports coming in. And that's why this guy is a massive name. He has the ability to draw multiple consumers into his fights.
100% agree. I think that was the attractiveness of the YouTubers turning into fighters. They were bringing all these these people who were never interested in boxing, never interested in anything combat, to come watch. So your point very well taken, but I don't think you can have a legitimate boxing match and say he be the name. But yeah, he may have the biggest numbers. Fair. Yes. He'll bring in bigger numbers.
You don't think that's correlated though? Big names bring in big numbers.
Sure,
man.
if we're talking about money, but if we're talking about quality of fights, I don't think.
Okay, quality fights totally different. Yeah,
and
totally
for the sport in general, but
I mean, the dude's been knocking people out, so
he has, tough. But he's not going to.
You know who I would like him to fight?
Who?
Edgar Berlanga. For all my real fight, Canelo just fought him not too long ago and beat him.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah,
okay.
Berlanga. Yeah, Berlanga is a G. I think that Jake and him should fight, that would be so wicked. But it's boxing. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, we don't know. We don't know if Turkey's changing the game.
Dude, there was one heavyweight fight that needed to happen through pretty much the past 10 years, and that was AJ versus Deontay, and it never happened.
Oh, I remember
so,
that.
Yeah.
Like, and they're still talking about that, bro. I mean, like,
both
that
of
was
them
the
turned
worst.
Both of them turned down $100 million.
It's just brutal, bro. I hate that.
It's the one fight. That's literally the only fight. It would have been the best heavyweight fight, the biggest heavyweight fight of all time, and it never happened.
That would have been amazing, man. I mean, and before AJ started getting knocked out all the time, AJ's chin's always been a little sus, right? Sus. But and what's his name? Deontay's skills and endurance has also been.
If you want to talk about sus, the skills are not there.
He started super late,
but he just needs
to
tap you though, man. He just needs to tap you.
Well, that's the thing.
Right, just touch you, and that's it. You're done.
That's the situation right now. So that's kind of like the thing we got in boxing, guys. I do see CDT taking out the local high over here, but you guys know my rules, and if you don't, I'm going to articulate them again. These small cap gappers, I will not trade them unless they get above the pre-market high. I don't want to have to deal with sellers who are bag holding from the pre-market, keeping the price down. I need that behind me. Okay, so especially with this monster candle here, having done about 3 million shares in one 5-minute candle that took at that pre-market high, I don't need that. So despite the fact that we got above that 320, which was the local area high, despite the fact that we're above VWAP, we're above $3, this is the level that I'm going to need it to break, that 393 level. Now, if that means I give up so much in terms of potential profit up into that $394 level, so be it. I'm going to put the odds in my favor, and I perceive this to be giving me the best shot at putting the odds in my favor. So I've put an alert at 3 low 80s there, so it can give me advanced notice of when this one approaches, that pre-market high. So CDT, I know it's a big boy winner on the day. It's got up 103%. But it's going to have to follow my rules for me to get involved. Now, we're going to take off pins, and we're going to throw on GSIW. Well, how come? Because this one's booming, all right? It just found its way onto my list. Now, this one's also got a nice little area crest there at $1.25. It did drop below the volume-weighted average price, but as I perceive this is respecting the 20 exponential. I don't know why, and I frankly don't care. What I see is every time it pulls back, it's holding off the yellow line. Once and twice. Do we get an OB thrice? So this is a general area low each and every closing print above that 20 exponential. And we've got the same situation over here. It's south of $1 and it's south of VWAP. So it's going to have to weasel above that volume-weighted average price for me to get interested. Ideally, I'd like a breakout maybe above $1.05, $1.07. Oh, I just forgot. I didn't even throw out the ticker there for you guys. So maybe you guys don't even know what I'm talking about right now. GSIW is the one I'm talking about. It's south of $1 right now. It's up 105%. Here are the details. Hello, computer. Thank you. Thank you. Good, Adara. 14.2 million market cap, 157 million. Did Adara just imply that she's the computer there? Get it, Adara.
Did.
158 million shares traded. Well, it's south of $1, so that's normal. 4.6 million share float. And let's find out what Trade Ideas has to say about the short float. GSIW is the ticker. And we've got a 2.2% short float there, so not much to write home about, but this one has earned its way on to the side chart. Let's see how this one ends up doing. Let's look at the trade we've currently got on. We're still zigging. We're still zagging. We've got caught here in a bit of a consolidation zone. What's keeping me interested is we're still holding above the 10 exponential moving average. I'm talking about VSAT. Anything below this 1110 area, I'm gone. I'm not risking too much. Full stop. I don't want to give it back here, and I don't want to be, punching in at the highs and DCAing to no end. That is not my move. That is not how I trade. It's going to have to hold up technically, and otherwise I'm going to get out for a little bit of a loss. Joseph Wilson.
Yeah, good luck there, my friend. We got into this NVDA short. It started to work out for us. It was enough time to just stop fighting the trend and continue with the way it's moving. So that forming those lower highs. And so it's like, okay, yeah, play the break of the support level and then take it down. Now it's starting to rebound as suspected. So here we go with NVDA. Let's see if we can hold this level 128.40s. We'll call it 128.50. If it has the ability to come back and test this level and then take another leg, that might be an opportunity to add to this short. I mean, the market might be short-term oversold. I haven't even looked at the RSI, nor do I usually use it on a regular basis.
Bang.
I know my guy Greg V does, but it's always good to look and see where things are once in a blue moon. And I was asking him about NVDA before I opened up my swing. I'm like, dude, what's this RSI at? He's like, it's big time oversold. So I was like, all right. And that's when we look to get involved, guys. But yeah, let's talk about some Uber continuing to climb higher as well to 75.95, about to touch $76 here, Sharif. Continuing to put in a new high a day. Looking really, really good news on that news we just heard from, looking really good here on that news we just heard from Madeira. So very interesting stuff. So yeah, we'll continue to watch that because, I mean, hey, with a massively, insanely strong trend like this, how could you not look to get involved? Yeah, this is really, really strong. Or if you're looking for the reversion, you're going to need those indecision candles at that extreme high, which we're also running into those types of territories as well too, guys. So we got to keep an eye out on that. Any form of isolated volume signature and a print, then we might look for a short duration short, a near duration short. So yeah, I mean, dude, savage trade, short or die. I mean, I see what you're saying, but maybe not on Uber because it's really strong. And the narrative for me is just don't fight the trend today, which is really, really tough. So coming back to the break even, if we don't hold this support level that is now can possibly act as resistance, we're going to have to get out break even on this trade because this market can recover at any given moment. And my early morning thesis that NVDA mid 130s, right? But that doesn't seem to be the case. Looks like a potential dip buy or an addition. And one thing that I want to point out as well too, guys, before we send it back to Sharif, is just the daily aspect of this. So we entered the gap here. I'll pull it up on a separate chart so we can see a little bit more clearly. And so here we go with NVDA. One thing that you guys know I like to trade is these daily gap fills because in these strong names, the majority of them do get filled. So that's exactly why we're monitoring this. But we did breach that gap to the top side here, Sharif. Putting as high as a high of 130 plus. So, I mean, I think that we hold these levels and then come into the mid 130s at some point. So as long as we hold it, then I'm going to look to continue in this strength here on NVDA.
Yeah, Joseph, I'm starting to debate here how I want to work into Uber. We just got a wick off 75.60, and I perceive that to be like one of the best prints because, well, we had a nice rejection off 75.60 there initially on our way up. And then when we weaseled up to 76, we've been ranging from 75.60 to 76. $76, still an elusive level to break. That is currently the high of the day. $76 on the dot. And this seems to me like a higher low situation with a flat top in and around 76. It feels like it's going to be a break. Here's 75.60 again. I'm going to try this. And then anything below 50, I'm gone. Let's see if this one wants to hold up. It looks like it will break 50. Let's see, where am I long? 6.2. So we're going to go like this. And then we're going to throw everything. Oh, I'm having trouble typing. There we go. Let's see if we can do this without fumbling. There we go. So throw out that order there. I'll wait for a bigger move back up. 75.40 wick and pop. Let's see if it defends 75.60 right now. It doesn't look like it will, so I'll give up like 10 pennies super quick on that. Well, unless it wants to move right back up. How come? Oh, I got stopped out of my other one, my other VSAT. Okay, so we're continuing to watch Uber right now, zigging and zagging, rejecting $76. It's actually below the 20 exponential moving average, so this one might stop me out. Yeah, so it does look like we're going to get stopped out here on Uber unless we pop up quite aggressively. There it is. Okay, so we are popping up quite aggressively. So let's throw out some orders now. So I didn't get stopped out of that one. Let's throw out the orders and see if we can catch something in the high 80s, 75s. I'm waiting at 75. Let's see if it crosses. I'm going to post up here, high 80s. What do we got? We got 75. There it is. Now we're moving up. Let's see. Boom, into the 80s. Oh. All right, so decent trade so far. Got stopped out, though, of VSAT, so we took a bit of an L there. Sorry, I'm not plugged in. I think we do have Adira at the big desk. Sorry to make you guys wait.
This is just pretty massive here. So PDD on watch, trying to recover amounts a little bit here. But we did have Donald Trump apparently signing an order amending duties on de minimis items. So we know PDD is basically, and PDD's Temu, names like Shimu have benefited, or sorry, not Shimu, Shein and Temu have basically benefited from this because it allows these less expensive items to get through. Now they're going to be amending this, so the tariffs are a little bit more expensive. Bad look here for PDD. But let's take a look at the market as well while we're here. So market sharply to the downside, and it has to do with tariffs. No big surprise here. Around 10:45 a.m., there was reports here from Reuters that President Trump did tell Republican lawmakers he's planning on issuing reciprocal tariffs as early as Friday, though CNBC then came in and said it's more likely going to be early next week. I want to clarify these reciprocal tariffs are, as of right now, purely, I guess, reports. They're entirely unconfirmed, so keep that in mind. But nice push to the downside for the NASDAQ, which is actually green on the day at one point. Magnite on watch here, MGNI. I did mention this one earlier, reported when the news broke, but basically about half an hour ago, we did get some reports from Business Insider suggesting that X, or Elon Musk's X, formerly known as Twitter, has signed a partnership with the company, which is an ad tech related company. Then we have Uber, UBER on watch here. Bill Ackman announced that he's been building into a 30.3 million share position. I want to clarify, his tweet says 30.3 million, not 33 million. So I want to clarify that, but still a lot of shares, of course. Roughly a $2 billion position for Bill Ackman. Also making bullish comments on the stock there, UBER. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adara.
Crapstock says I could rock Jake with my right. Okay. All right, buddy. Continue what you got going on, Sharif. We're gonna there's no chance. Anyways, we're gonna continue with what you got here, Sharif. We're in some NVIDIA short. We added at that hold of the resistance here, guys. Now heading back to the south side. I don't know if we're gonna crack the lows, but we got Amazon moving south side as well too, so that can possibly drag it down with it. I like this look on the short so far.
I like it, man. I like it. I'm keeping my eye on Uber, guys. I want that break of 76. I'd like to see if we can actually use 76 as support. We've been using it as resistance for a hot minute. It's zigging, it's zagging, it's up 8%. Put some dang respect on this one's name. We were just at $60 a couple of days ago. And if you didn't get that $60 dip that we were talking about for a period of weeks, you got close to it after the earnings, let's call it the earnings miss in quotations, because it was barely a miss. You got low 60s again. I think you didn't get it for all that long, Joseph, but you got, what's going on over there, bro?
We got Amazon.
Print store.
We got a print store. I'm going over here. Let's pull up Amazon here real quick, Sharif, because I gotta start to take some off here.
Take some.
As we continue to move to the south side, breaking through some key support levels. As I mentioned not too long ago here, Sharif.
Yes, sir.
Now we're punching them. Going to take a 10% off right there. Bang. There we go. Bang. Exactly. So let's see what else everybody else is up to, because I mean the market continuing to take another leg down. Man, Sharif, I got to look at this put to call ratio on a more regular basis, because something of 1.28. Here we go to the south side. The market was displayed as bearish. More puts being buyed than calls. It's that simple. And what are we doing?
Bang.
We're heading to the south side here, man.
And I love it. My man was on Copilot. I had to call him out for using Copilot.
I like Copilot, man. It's
Why
convenient.
you got Copilot,
Yeah, it's
bro?
right there and it works. Let's go.
And it worked perfectly.
Yeah.
So shout out to you, bro. Yes, in case you're wondering what we're talking about, we use the LLMs, obviously, just like everybody else. All right, guys, I've weaseled my way back into VSAT over here for the $11 area hold. I like this level a little bit better. It's a 20, it's the whole dollar, and it's an area of previous resistance. That bull pennant, bull flag, whatever, I don't know shapes. I skipped kindergarten. No, seriously though, $11. I'm looking for this area to hold. Super tight stop below that $11 area. We're already 0 for 1 on it. We didn't take anything out last time. Now, let me tell you this. It's got a 3-penny spread right now, but it's trading like it doesn't, like it has a wider spread. We just crossed my beak wetter there. It didn't print. So I'm a little concerned that this one is kind of being like LTBR, where I've got to get deeper retracements in order to get the print. Super tight stop below that 11. The point really being that it has to hold that general $11 area. So keeping an eye out on that. What did I just do there? I think I minimized one of the, I minimized this. Let me just load that bad boy. There you go. Okay. So VSAT is also coming back down, guys. Not VSAT, excuse me. LTBR is coming back down, and it just got to the 20 exponential. This is exactly where I picked it up last time, but this is not an area I'd pick it up off again, okay? So this is the 20 exponential. I'd like to see it maybe at around 1080. or so. That is VWAP. Let's see what it does with 11. LTBR and VSAT have very similar prices. They're both trading around 11s, high 10s, right? So, you know, I hope I don't get confused between them. I hope you guys don't get confused either, because very similar prices on these two. So VSAT, LTBR. All right, we just took a print there, finally on VSAT, so good luck. What's going on with my... Can I send it to you for a second?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Window. I didn't mean to close
absolutely.
There, yeah.
Nice, Alex Davis. That he says he trains under Cesar Gracie, Nick and Nate's coach.
Okay.
Whoa, that's really cool there, Alex Davis. That's super interesting. It's funny, I drive by a jiu-jitsu gym every morning and I see them just tumbling everywhere and I'm like, man, I got to get involved in this. So as soon as we heal up here from hockey, then we're gonna maybe start to get involved in some ground game and strengthen that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, man.
Talking ground game.
Yeah, we're gonna get the jiu-jitsu up. So you should have. So Smokey Love, it's that simple. I honestly literally just typed in what's the current put to call ratio on Copilot, and then I just confirmed it with GPT. So you get those two sources, right? And it's literally just ask it any question, and it will find it for you. So GPT or Copilot maybe, and then yeah, exactly. Day Trader Cut. Let me get this voting long today. I voted short the past couple of days, but I like it down here. But Pro Day Trader says options run the market, the entire market. Great job. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Hopefully we can hold through these levels. If we can pull up my chart here real quick, guys, and see what we got going on and cooking up in some Amazon. We'll go to Adair in just 1 second if we can pull the chart up real quick. There we go, perfect. So here we are, breaking through those key support levels, just piecing out as we continue to move to the southeast here, guys. So looking really, really good here on Amazon, looking for these levels to hold as well. But let's see what Adara's up to.
Get it, Adara.
This is pretty huge news here. Keep an eye on GM, Tesla, Ford, any Stellantis, any U.S.-based car makers, because we have reports here from the Financial Times that the EU is going to be offering lower tariffs on U.S. cars. So U.S. cars getting lower tariffs from the EU. Keep an eye on any of these car names. This is GM, which got a volume spike and a pretty nice spike to the upside on that news. But with that in mind, we're going to hear from Neil and his awesome lesson of the day. Take it away, Neil.
The lesson of the day here is always listen to Adara when she's bringing the news, everybody. That's what it's all about. The other thing, too, is... The other thing I want to say is... There's a certain rapper who's probably going to date... I'm going to date myself by dropping it, but sometimes breathe. 1 into the 2, 2 into the 3, 3 into the 4, then you got to breathe. And we've seen what this market has been doing to everybody. It's the whipsaw action. It's one headline after another. But you've got to be able to just sort of take that step back, stay focused, and look for that next opportunity. And you know what? I think in a market like this, the next opportunity should always be stay with something trending. I don't care if the market's going up, down, sideways, and around. If it's not trending, after you got that opening rush, you just wait until you find something that's got the good trend. Now, fortunately, the last couple of days, it hasn't been that hard with Palantir. But I'll tell you, like, I was the first person to be going back into the NVIDIA march to the upside, which it's been great, man, all week long. You've been finding longs in NVIDIA all week long. It's different today. It started out great, and when it lost it, what do? They had that bad headline. I could have gone right back and punched into NVIDIA at the bottoms. Could have done it, and it would have worked into VWAP. But you know what? I'm not fighting that game. As a matter of fact, I actually reversed short and made some back in NVIDIA. But that's not what it's about. When you sit back and breathe for a second and remember that you've got a stock doing this, Palantir, which has never broken its upward trend, and you could argue, I would argue it kind of did it here, you can easily find something which is setting up better. And if you don't have to trade. But you've got to take that step back. There was a point where you would have seen in the morning show, in the usual 3-4 trading in names, and then it stopped, and I was in like 2, and one of them doesn't even follow the market. That's because you had to find the right opportunity. And maybe it's Palantir, see the upward trend. And then we're also talking about, and Sharif's on this one, Uber. Oof. I got it at the high of the day on Uber. Anyways, that was a bad idea. But no, you find something which is trending to the upside, and why be fighting NVIDIA when you can just be going long Uber? You can find these opportunities, but you've got to take a second to breathe to do it. There's always something which is giving you that move. And maybe you're a small cap trader. You know what? Let's go. Maybe you're a small cap trader, or maybe you just like an upward trend. There's lots of people that were looking long this morning when everything rolled over. Look at Big Bear AI. That's the kind of thing you have to do. Have your scanners up. We talk about eSignal. I have my trade rate scanner up there. Make that flip over to an Uber. Hold on for more than just 50, 60 cents like I did. Move on to something else like Palantir, which is giving you the juice. Affirm, which was holding that upward trend. Get away from NVIDIA when it's not working out the way that you want to. And the truth is, it's nothing wrong with usually sticking to your plan or sticking to your stock. But if you're so invested in just the emotion of this one stock that I'm heavily active in and all the executions on, if you just stick there in that emotion, you won't be able to draw back and go over to the better opportunity. So like we say all the time, the market is going to give you multiple shots, multiple opportunities, multiple trades. It's your job as a trader to be able to scan for the best and make sure in the moment that you're trading the best. And just as we just heard there, that news came out. I got filled back at resistance on NVIDIA when that news came out. I was like, whoops, I still had that order out flat. Now it could have been fine, but I don't mind letting it calm down. If it stays on trend, jumping back into the short. The second that happened, let me just cancel that. The second I heard that, I'm like, maybe try to do a revert trade on Tesla in here. You've just got to find that next opportunity. There's going to be another headline. There's going to be a trending stock. There's going to be a small cap gapper that goes. And if you're too focused on revenge trading the one stock or the thing that you were convinced was going to be good and it's not trading the way you want, you're not going to find it. So take a minute, breathe a little bit, and move on to that next trade. And good luck, everybody. And good luck in the Playmaker poll, which I'm sure everyone's still going to vote long on.
Sorry, before we send back to the guys, I want to mention PDD because what we heard initially was that Trump signed an executive order related to the de minimis rule. It dropped on that. Now it's popping because we have more details on said executive order. Now what we know here is the executive order actually has delayed its plan here to suspend de minimis packages. So this is going to negatively affect PDD, Temu, and things like Shein. That's been delayed now until the Commerce Department has put in place appropriate procedures and systems to process these. So until these procedures are in place, that suspension on de minimis packages has in fact been delayed. So right now, market viewing this as a positive for PDD. Back to you.
Yeah, guys, good stuff there. As always, IB just sending you a message in the chat there. Yeah, curious about what that's supposed to mean. But yeah, guys, here we go. Continuing to climb higher. Take a look at this signal here that we missed out on, guys. Wow. Yeah, we took the short at the break of the level, and then we took some off. We'll display the trade in just a second here. But yeah, really good stuff here, engulfing volume here, and then a nice turnaround signal, and then we get that bounce through some key levels, which I think is really, really important. So yeah, I think this thing is going to start to recover. Only time will tell, but that was a really, really nice turnaround signal there, guys. See what my guy ADL's up to. Darwin, what made you decide to lower your time per trade? Maybe it's not he decided to, it's just the setups aren't in as long. There's a lot of factors I think that can come into play unless you're like algorithmically trading. There's a lot of things that I think that can come into play. It's like, I'm not holding my winners as long, etc. So a lot could possibly be going on there. But yeah, Amazon looking really nice for a recovery. I don't know if we're going to head any more south, down about 3.8% on the session, so really interesting. I don't see any specific setup in order for me to take this long just yet, so we'll have to be patient. But the one thing that is kind of hovering around the volume-weighted average price is NVDA, and I do believe that it's going to recover, and who knows, this thing can squeeze. We've got to keep in mind that it is Friday as well too, folks, so if you're green on the day, then you know what, and you want to trade more, just make sure you have kind of that LFT kind of metric that we use here as well too, so you don't give away all your gains and then ruin your Friday, and then next thing you know, you got to wait until Sunday. Or I don't even know, is Blue Ocean open? What time is Blue Ocean open until this evening, Sharif? I don't even know. But yeah, I mean,
Starts at 8.
Does it start at 8? So yeah, I mean, you're going to be trading Blue Ocean, and at that point, you're probably over trading. So Just keep it cool. Don't ruin the Friday heading into the weekend. There's going to be a lot of volatility stepping in next week as well, too. So we're in the thick of earnings. Those opportunities are not going to be short. So, I mean, short of any opportunities. I mean, so yeah, just pack your patience. If it's not your day, then there'll always be another one, man.
Yes, sir. There we go. Just throwing out some stops. There we go.
All right. Here's what we're doing. We're in CDT in breach of our rules. So it's going to have to hold up here, right? I'm giving it to the 10 exponential. This one looks like it's primed and ready to break out, like just based on the volume and like how you can see the kind of the tape moving. There we go. Let's see if we can take out 60s. We've been having a lot of trouble with 60s. So I'm going to let this one cook. Let's see what it does. I'm already negative on this one. I was taking trades on it while Neil was doing his lesson of the day. This one we're doing all right on, VSAT. We got the bottom there at the 20 exponential moving average. 3 out so far, waiting for this top, though, at 11 1/3. It's very evasive, this level. This 11.34, even though the high of the day is 11.38, we seem to be having some selling here. But I think Adara's got breaking news at the big desk.
We have breaking news here coming in. We have Prime Minister Ishiba of Japan and President Donald Trump of the U.S. talking right now. There's so many headlines coming from this talk. But basically, Donald Trump did say, apparently, that tariffs on Japan are an option. We also have U.S. steel dropping because Prime Minister Ishiba of Japan said that he is going to discuss North Korea and U.S. steel with Trump. So keep that in mind here. That's going to be discussed. Big sell the news here for U.S. steel on that, though, could also have to do with the fact that tariffs are potentially happening with Japan. But President Trump did say he has not changed his mind regarding the deal between U.S. Steel and Nippon. He does not want that to go through. Looks like Ishiba's going to try to change his mind, but regardless, that is not a good look here for U.S. Steel, which does not look like it's going to be getting any saving graces here from Donald Trump. The other thing here is that he teased the reciprocal trade announcement without actually clarifying it. He said that next week he's going to make an announcement on reciprocal trade. No sign on what that announcement's going to be, but we'll have to wait for next week to find out. And he did actually say that because they want the deficit to go down, he views tariffs as an option to address the deficit. So yeah, we'll have to wait till next week to hear about this reciprocal tariff thing, guys. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Dara. Big news there. What a move down for that. We'll have to keep an eye out on that. Get it, Joseph? What's going on that side, brother?
Bro, do you see this? Look, pull up IBIT here. We shorted IBIT here, Sharif. So here we go. This thing just absolutely decided to tank. This stuff is absolutely insane. You and I were talking. I didn't trade during Donald's first run in office, but now I've been in this for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. This is insane volatility. This is like, I don't even know. This is post-COVID stuff here. Crazy volatility in this market, guys. So we're going to start to piece out some of this IBIT trade here as it continues to move to the sell side, guys. One thing that I was just doing on the side, I tapped into some IBIT, and then I'm like, all right, let me look at the VIX because I want to see that inverse correlation, but I couldn't even pull it up in time before the market decided it wanted to dive into the deep end here of the red scene. So let me pull up the VIX for you guys real quick and see what the volatility, I don't know why I keep doing, what the volatility index and the fear index is saying, because I think this is going to be really important. It's most definitely going to be elevated. Okay, I can't even, Sharif, take it for a second for me, brother?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, we're sending it to Adara.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. I have a feeling there will be more interruptions throughout the day in the next 4 years. Basically, we do have the NASDAQ pushing a little bit lower here. Initially, what we heard was that Donald Trump said he'd be making an announcement next week on reciprocal trade. Now he's saying that he will actually be announcing reciprocal tariffs next week for many countries, quote unquote. So not only will he be making an announcement, this announcement will include reciprocal tariffs for many countries. He doesn't name the countries, but it's worth noting here, this announcement does imply that we will get some reciprocal tariffs, though again, who knows which countries will be affected as of right now, guys. Back to you.
You get a tariff. You get a tariff. I get a tariff.
Everybody gets.
Bro,
everybody
he made this very clear, though, Joseph, that he called tariff beautiful things. I mean, this was all telegraphed, earmarked. This is not surprising to anybody. So, you know, it's just, I think maybe what is a little bit surprising is the breadth of the tariffs, how many people are getting smacked with these tariffs. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what happens. But yeah, it's obviously creating a lot of volatility, and I think that's what we need as day traders. So keeping
to a certain extent, I wouldn't mind. Like we're going up, down. It's
all
crazy.
Around,
yeah,
bro, all around.
No joke. Sharif, we'll talk about the VIX here real quick, and we'll send it back to you. you guys.
Yep.
Here's the inverse correlation on the volatility index here, guys. So as you see the market moving to the downside and then the VIX moving to the top side. So that volatility is really stepping in, especially in bearish markets, guys. We'll zoom in and take a look at it from a daily perspective. So holding these lows, now pumping up to about 1644 is the VIX, Sharif, as the rest of the market continues to slide.
All right, man. We're involved in CDT. We're involved in VSAT. VSAT pulling back now, not giving me that print at 33. So a little concerning there that this one is kind of curling back off. It couldn't make another newer high either. So despite the fact that we got higher lows, we're either in a bit of a compression pattern or we're starting to do that rounded top. So I'm long at 05s. Anything below 11s, I'm gone. I want to try to preserve a little bit of what we're saving on this bad boy. We've got 4 outs. We've got a few more, but I'm looking for that top break ideally for this name. I'm talking about VSAT. It was very respectful of the 10, but that's true to form though. When you get into that midday time slot, you know, things slow down a little bit and it has a way of just kind of consolidating sideways for a bit. This is the one that I've got a bit more shares on right now. CDT, I did add at 35s. Now it's back at 45s, but we got cost basis of 50. It's not forthcoming to the high side, and we've got lower highs here. I perceive this to be a bit of a bull flag. We've had different resistance levels here that have come into play on CDT. So for the most part, for the last 5-10 minutes, it's been that 50 penny level that we've had a lot of trouble taking out. Now it's 55. So as you see, we got above 50, but this 55 area we've had, I think there is a person with several thousand lots hanging out at 55s. So we'll see if this one wants to break above that 55. I've layered my orders above 55s as well into 60s. But here we go. So I want to show you guys the level 2 on this. Is just what's posted is about 2,000, a bit more. But as you can see, this is obviously a hidden order because none of the posted size is getting taken out. And in fact, it's getting increased into. There we go. Looks like we've taken out some size here. That size is getting creamed. All right, let's see if we can take it out a little bit more to the high side. Still zigging and zagging. So there's another hidden seller at 58 and 59. And this is why I don't take them below the pre-market high. I'm breaching my rules when I do this. And the reason is because there's usually bag holders of note that are heavy and they keep the price down exactly like this. This is my fault for doing it, but you know, it just looked like it was parabolic. So that's why I got into it. Adair's at the big desk.
Keep an eye here. Yes, we do have, there is a bit of a run up here in X initially. It did drop here when Trump said he hasn't changed his mind on Nippon and U.S. Steel and that acquisition of U.S. Steel by Nippon. But then he said he's going to talk to Prime Minister of Japan, Ishiba. So keep that in mind. But I want to talk about China here because we have more comments here from Trump with regards to China. We heard he was supposed to be speaking to Xi earlier this week. Then he said that's not going to happen. And now he's saying he will be meeting with Xi, quote, probably. So we will probably get some kind of conversation here between Donald Trump and the leader of China, Xi, with regards to tariffs. So until then, lots of uncertainty in China. Keep an eye on that space. But also keep an eye on names like Tesla and GM. They just got to run up here with regards to the fact that Europe is reportedly going to be helping out here with the duties on some of these cars. Now we have Trump saying that auto tariffs are always on the table. So keep an eye on anything, I guess, internationally auto-related, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, big news there, and like one after the other. Dara bringing us the fire. We're going to thank her very much for staying on top of things and bringing all the news. I think this is what really makes a good community, Joseph, that we're able to share all the information. It's hard to have eyes on everything. You know
it's really near impossible to have eyes on everything. Yeah, like, but that's the thing though, right? Like, you know, Katina, man, he does his sticky note in the morning. You do your analysis. You run your gappers list, and that's what I do, the exact same thing too. I know that I can't watch everything at once, and when I start to watch too many things, then it just messes you up anyways, right? You're like, oh, true, so what I do is when you see me write my notes in the morning, I hyper-focus on 2 or 3 stocks. If those setups display themselves, then they display themselves. If not, then I have to reassess the situation and be like, hey, where did I go wrong, and correct that for the next day. But Gorev, here we go. Look at these signals here, Gorev, check this out, my guy here. Gorev is my my guy in the chat here. Look at these signals, man. We're looking for the same stuff on the chat in the charts here. So that signal, we missed this one, unfortunately, Goya, but that was so nice on this downtrend. And then you get that engulfing volume signature with an additional isolated one and that isolated print as well, too. And then a really nice rebound at the break of it, 228.46 to a high of 229.75. That's really nice there, Gorev. So unfortunately, we missed out on that one, but we'll get another one here, guys. ADL, same thing with ADL, man, but we're going to see what Adara's up to at the desk.
This is our third throw in at least 10, 15 minutes here on U.S. steel because, so just to recap here, we had Donald Trump doing his press conference with Prime Minister Ishiba, during which Donald Trump said he's willing to talk to Ishiba about this U.S. steel deal, but he still has his plans where he does not want Nippon Steel of Japan to be acquiring U.S. steel. But now we have CBS reporting that Trump is actually considering allowing Japan's Nippon Steel to complete its acquisition of U.S. steel valued at $14 billion. It's worth noting, though, this report is very interestingly timed because Trump just said that he still stands by his earlier thoughts of not wanting the acquisition to go through. So be very careful with this news, given that context. Regardless, though, being reported by CBS citing multiple sources, pushing to the upside here. It looks like Trump might change his mind on X. Back to you.
Yeah, good luck there. We'll have to keep tabs on that. Lots being done right now in terms of news coming in from Donald Trump and the new administration. It's given us a lot to trade, a lot to look at, but there's lots of volatility right now, both intraday and looks for like the long-term account. So we'll keep tabs on all of that. I'm still involved in CDT as it tries to take that $0.50 again. It's putting in umpteen amount of lower highs but higher lows, a bit of a compression pattern, but you can tell an algo is trading this. It's very clear that it's putting its stop and its size, at the prior bar high. And it's just kind of very easy to see when you see it on the 5-minute. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about there. So if you zoom in over here, we got lower high, lower high, lower high, incrementally lower, and by pennies here below the previous bar high. So you can tell this has been programmed to trade in this way. We'll have to see if the buyers are able to push this one with higher lows. 1 second, at 370. That 370 is the high of the day, but that is not the pre-market high. That it's about 394 or so, and that's going to be that $4 area. I'll submit to you, it's not really going to be 394, 393. It's likely going to be that whole dollar. We'll see if this one has enough eyes on it, being up 125% to really get this going. I perceive this to be a bit of a bull flag. We're not getting that continuity vis-a-vis higher highs. We are getting a bit of higher lows, but that ain't good enough for me, man. I need that big boy break through the top, and we're not getting it yet, Adair. What do you got?
We have some more updates here from Trump. I think it's worth noting here, I'm not really sure what direction this could move things, but keep an eye on FXI, any of these tech names. Keep an eye on Alibaba. And also keep an eye on these semiconductor plays. Donald Trump said, and I quote, DeepSeek is a good development. So keep an eye on anything that was impacted by the DeepSeek drop, names like NVIDIA, Broadcom, AMD, and then also keep an eye on FXI, on Alibaba, and anything that really benefited from that push. But yeah, apparently Trump is thinking that DeepSeek was a good development here, guys. Back to you.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're still doing the same dance right into prior bar high and then a reject. Like, let me show you the 5-minute on here. This is so obvious that it's doing that. But what can you do? It's obvious to you, but what can you do about it other than just punch it out flat, right? Or get out of the position. I mean, prior bar high, every successive 5-minute candle, despite the fact that it gets a push and a move up, it just can't take out the highs. Joseph, what are you looking at?
Yeah, I'm still hearing some IBIT short, guys, as the market continues to move. I just wanted to look at the money IV as well, too, to see if that's obviously picking up with the VIX, which it should be. So we're sitting about 31% on those 0 DTE, the Qs. So, I mean, it's getting up there. And if I were to pull it up to the February 10th expiration cycle, those at-the-money IVs are nearly cut in half. So we're going to be paying some premium on those puts and calls today, guys. So just be wary of that. And I don't know if you necessarily want to be doing that as a buyer right now. It's looking like the selling is the way to go, especially with that heightened implied volatility. So increased premiums, good for sellers. But yeah, let's take a look on Bitcoin, guys. Continuing to move to the south side. We haven't really looked at spot just yet. Gonna pull it up right now for you guys and see what we had going on. I was like, I didn't think it was gonna hit 100K today, but sure enough, I think it tapped into it and then now rejected it really nice. This primary downtrend I mean, the uptrend is still, the primary is to the top side, but again, a double top and then the secondary trend here really going to head into these lows. And I think that we do touch that. If we break, then that momentum steps in. We're definitely going to see those mid 80s, even lower 80s in Bitcoin. So I'm going to stay short for this thing for the time being. But PLTR, I don't know if is that accurate? No, that can't be accurate. No way that's accurate. So this thing is just a complete outlier, it seems to be right now. Oh, no, see, that's not updated. Okay, I got to pull this thing up here. I'll pull up PLTR on this chart because it is NAS, and see what it's up to. But I mean, this thing was really strong. I was watching it last night when I got home. Yeah, wow, still up to 115.32. This thing is just ignoring what the rest of the market is doing and living in its own world. Sharif and I were talking about it not too long ago. He's like, this is extended, dude. And I'm like, yeah, we're getting up there. So we just got to sit here and wait for those signals to tell us that we're ready to turn around. And then maybe we get a gap fill play on that.
Yep, I got stopped out of CDT. So frustrating because I breached one of my rules and I always am made to pay when I breach one of my rules. So that's a little frustrating because it's so easy to avoid, but this one looked like it was really about to break out through the top. So that will be the last time I do that in a really long time. So again, the reason I got into this, it was really breaking up above the 10 exponential. It looked like it was putting in that volume. The tape looked really good, but you could just see the bag holder in the pre-market keep pushing this higher, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high until the flat bottom broke, and then I got stopped out. So a bit of a tough one there. We'll look to do a little bit better. The one that I'm looking at right now, VSAT, we're still holding this one at 11, and it's defending 11. So it's got a bit of a compression pattern happening right now with some higher lows but lower highs. So I'm waiting at around 1133. So we'll see exactly what we get with this one. I'm also keeping an eye on what's this other one called? LTBR, the one that we were involved in earlier. This one continues to defend the 10 exponential on the 5, and it's very predictable in its patterns. If you put your order right at that 10 exponential, you have been profitable on the day. It keeps putting in higher lows and higher highs. For the moment, though, it looks like that mid 80s area may be where we keep topping out. We've had several rejections off that mid 80 area. I want to say for around 20 to 25 minutes or so. So this one could definitely be one that I get into. It's going to have to pull back in a little bit more. I'm not going to punch in at highs with this one. It had a really good dip trade at the 20 exponential, right at that $11.25 area. I want to say $11.21 area. I'm talking about LTBR. So this one pulls in a little bit more, gives me a better retrace opportunity. Definitely interested in that. So we'll keep tabs on that. What else we got? We got Big Bear AI retracing a little bit down now into the 20 and breaching that 8.5. Let's bring in the side chart and have a look. So here we go. Big Bear AI kind of looking like it's rounded topping, giving you that nice curling effect. And we could be destined for an $8 area. In fact, that's where VWAP is hanging out. And I like this about eSignal. It kind of shows you that level right there on the right in white, and that shadows the volume weighted average price. So you don't have to guess where VWAP is. It just tells you. So you can put your orders there if you want. And I want to see if this one actually allows you to execute off different levels. Like if you could put, for example, hey, punch in at VWAP, wherever VWAP is, because obviously VWAP is dynamic, so you're constantly having to change your level. So keeping an eye on BBAI, but it's not, I don't know if it's ready quite yet. It's got a few bottoming tail candles into that 8 1/3, as you guys can see there. It really is, these are all candles of indecision, so I'm really unsure how to play this or whether this one is a long, short, or what. So we'll keep tabs on that, and I'll throw an alert at VWAP to let me know exactly when it is around that area. All right, back to VSAT. This one looks like it might be destined finally to take out that 11 1/3 high day that I've been waiting at over here. VSAT has had a bit of a flat top at around 1138. Now, if this takes out the level, we've been ranging at this level for, I want to say, the better part of an hour and 5 minutes. So if that's the case, then I'll be adding on that top break. Currently, the top is 1138. We print anything above that top. I like it for possible long, Jose.
Yeah, good look there. AK, put your question in the chat. Thoughts on GRR? Please please, and thank you. Yeah, we'll pull that up for you right now. I know I've seen you ask that a couple of times since early in the morning, and sorry, our apologies. We can't find everything. So Gorilla Technologies, not the prettiest from an intraday perspective. Doesn't look overly liquid as well too. You can tell by the pre-market and then how you just gap up. So probably a hefty spread on GRRR. Let's pull out and see what we got going on from a daily perspective. Okay. AK, I see what you're looking at now. This thing's looking pretty good. Let's see what we're up off of those November lows here. Okay, so really nice look there. Wow, okay, up a whopping 450% off of that November low. So 3 months or so, you're putting up a hefty return. That's Palantir type numbers over here. So, I mean, continue to hold on to this thing for the long term, especially with a chart looking like this. Recovering off of this pullback, so a pretty deep pullback, but that volatility steps in. You see that price expansion going on with the average true range, and then now heading back and volume supporting that. So I like this for a long term, just from a technical standpoint. I don't really know anything about Gorilla Technology Group, but from a technical standpoint, you're looking pretty good there, AK. So continue to hold on to that if you are in it, okay? So let's see what Palantir is doing. Still climbing higher, 115.62. This thing might hit 118 bucks. Like by Monday, this thing will probably gap up to 120 or something along those. Pure cash, exactly, Katina Man. So this thing is absolutely insane and continuing to move up 3.8% on the session. And I had it as a secondary look, but I just didn't focus on it. I'm like, this thing's been too strong for too long. I was expecting somewhat of a pullback, but we're not getting it. This is a complete squeeze, so a lot of shorts probably getting stopped out of this name here on Palantir. But other than that, guys, market slowly starting to recover. Bitcoin starting to recover as well, too. So we're just going to see if we can add to this short, Sharif.
All right, we just took out some there on VSAT as it took out the top there at 33s. Now I'm setting up a little bit higher than the high of the day. The high of the day sitting at 1138. I'm putting in an 1139 print to see if this one wants to hold up. So keeping an eye on this one. This one we've got involved in right now. Off the 20 exponential on the 5. It's up 19%, almost 20%. It doesn't have parabolic nature, at least not during the midday. Maybe right at that open, it had a bunch of orders, waiting market on open orders that really popped up. Other than that, it's been more of a stair stepper, kind of an escalator rather than an elevator, so to speak, right? So VSAT, you're going to have to pack your patience, pick it up off key levels. I think it's a sound trade. We're trading near the highs. Here we go. Now we're showing 36s. We're waiting at 39s. It's up 19 and change now. I'm still keeping an eye on BBAI. It seems to have, you know, this 840 area, 835 area that's holding up. But the thing is, now we're not getting that pattern anymore of higher highs and higher lows. In fact, we're getting lower highs with maybe a flat bottom in and around this, let's just say high 30s area. Let's say 837, 838. Here we go, right back down into that area. Could we lose the bid here on Big Bear? We're up 24%. We're losing. Now we're making lower lows. We haven't made decidedly lower lows quite yet on Big Bear AI. Now, if Big Bear wants to drop and keep on dropping, guess what? We're below the 10. We're below the 20. Well, where the hell could we find support? I'm going to submit to you it's $8. That is the volume-weighted average price. I'm not picking up Big Bear if it loses the bid here at this area range until $8. $8 is where VWAP is. That's where I like it. We're going to keep tabs on Big Bear AI. Let's have a look quickly at what we're doing on VSAT. We're showing 37s now. On VSAT, I'm waiting at 39. Maybe we get the print when we get back from Midday at the big desk.
Just a little quick reminder here on X as it breaks day's highs here. U.S. steel particularly strong here. Basically, Donald Trump said that he stands by his earlier stance of not wanting to allow that deal with Nippon Steel to go through. So Nippon Steel wants to acquire for U.S. steel for $14.1 billion. Trump said he stands by his decision not to allow that, though he says he will talk to Japanese Prime Minister Ishiba about this deal. However, then a couple minutes after that, CBS reports that actually Trump is considering allowing the deal to go through. So really weird timing here. Be very cautious and aware of that. But regardless, X to the upside, breaking day's highs. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adara. Appreciate that. Joseph, what do you got?
I'm just watching Palantir just tap into 116 here. This thing is absolutely crazy and continuing to to do so. I mean, I don't even really know what to say about this thing at this point.
Ridiculous.
So, yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. When things are working, just best believe, just continue to milk them until they aren't. And if you've had the ability to do that here on Palantir, then you're like Jose and Cash Cow type-esque stuff here, guys. So Palantir just really continuing to climb, and it leaves you essentially speechless. But yeah, let's see what else we got going on here, everybody. We're still in this IBIT short. It's going to be kind of the same thesis here. If we run into some key resistance levels, we're going to look for the add as like right now for the continuation to the downside. So running into some key resistance levels here, looking for that rejection. We get that rejection. Now we can possibly go and test that low a day on IBIT. I'm short-term bearish on Bitcoin. We've been consolidating in this range for quite some time. At some point, we got to pick a direction. Could it be up? Maybe, because we went in that we had an 8-month consolidation, decided to trade higher for a couple of weeks, and then right back into it. So it's just a matter of, it's a question for me, is how long is this consolidation phase going to be? And are we going to dip below this $90,000 level on spot Bitcoin, Sharif?
That's a really good question, man. Just hopefully it's about 125,000 by my birthday, though.
Yeah.
That'd be good times. All right, guys, in case you don't know, Joseph and I have a little bit of a bet. If you guys already heard this, you're probably sick of hearing it, but not everybody heard it, so we got to let them know. If Bitcoin hits 125,000 at any point between now and May 25th, 11:59 p.m. and 59 seconds, Joseph.
Yeah.
How are we doing this again? We're averaging down to 112,000.
Yeah,
so whatever IBIT's price is
at 112.
At 112,000, we'll do the conversion there. I think there's a website that actually does the conversion for you. That's the one. If it doesn't hit 125,000, I send Joseph 2 shares of IBIT with an average price of 100. How are we going to do this? I'm going to have to send you fractional shares.
No, but see, the thing is, I might be mistaken here, Sharif, because I went to look on the app there to see if we could transfer out accounts. It's only just internal accounts as of right now.
Tell you?
Yeah, you were right on that, but I had to double check. But one thing we
So
can do,
you're going to have to give money then.
we can do money, but I don't know. Do you have an actual wallet or no?
Like a crypto wallet?
Yeah.
No.
Oh my guy.
Like a crypto, but hold on, that's like to hold the actual coin though, no?
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. You don't have any spot. You don't have any. Because then
this
you can
is my
actually
first foray in the crypto period.
Because then I can actually send you that amount of money in Bitcoin, which would be cool. Because that's just a peer-to-peer.
That's pretty cool,
right? You know what I mean?
I wouldn't mind that.
Peer-to-peer. Yeah.
How do I get a wallet? What's the whole?
Well, you got to download.
Right?
Well, no, you got to download. You got to have to open something up first.
Okay.
You need an account first.
Hold on. I thought the cold wallets are just things that you kind of keep at home. There, you don't have to have an account.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure you still need to buy it off of something.
Let's find out. Yeah. I mean, whatever the situation is, I hear about cold wallets.
You see, people already got me in the W here, eh? Congratulations so far.
The fact that everybody's against this makes me feel that I've got something.
I heard Neil was on. I think Neil was on my side as well too.
All right,
guys. So yeah,
I don't like to go with the masses. I am very contrarian. So the fact that everybody's against me makes me feel more emboldened.
Listen, essentially, if we hit 125, that's okay. Yeah, I lose a couple shares, but that's also a massive win.
Well, exactly.
For me, you know what I mean?
You should be championing
exactly. So, I mean, yeah, let's figure that out, Sharif. That's really interesting.
Sir.
If not, we'll just do a traditional, we'll keep it real with the crypto sector and do peer-to-peer. Boom, just like
that would be right? My way to get a cold wallet.
There you go.
What is this called? Cold storage?
Cold storage, cold storage. So yes, you can set something up.
Yeah, so I'll set something up like that.
That'll
be all good there, yeah.
Then I could just scan the QR code and then bang, just like that we get.
Just like they can scan the QR code there for Worksport.
There it is, bang.
There it is, 2-in-1, baby.
Bang, let's go, guys.
This is why crypto is so dumb. Why? You guys can't even figure it out, says Patrick Riley. Wow, Patrick.
No, what do you mean? It's actually figured. We just figured it out. It's a lot more simplistic.
All right, guys. What else we got? Jeremy Moomin. Don't worry, Sean is on your side, so you're good. Bang. We got the ADL man.
What ADL
Contrarian team, my guy. There it is. Sharif, that's also how Biden felt for running again, and then the first debate happened. Yeah, I look, bro. I don't like Joe Biden's politics, but I also don't like making fun of geriatrics. I have a very sensitive spot for older people, and I don't like when that kind of thing happens to them in front of people. I don't like what's happening to Mitch McConnell either, where he just freezes in front of people. It's his fault because, he should know when to call it quits, but it just bothers me when old people, have trouble like that. It's not my thing. So I have a little bit of a soft spot for them. But anyway, with mushing, what?
Let's see if I can find it here. Let's see if I can find it here.
What do you got?
I'm looking for the like and subscribe, my guy.
Hey, I got it right here,
Got it
my
right
guy.
there, Bane. Let's
All
go.
right.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe, everybody.
Okay, here we go. Guys, we're still holding that VSAT trade. We got awfully close to that 1139 high at day, 38, excuse me. I'm waiting at 39s. It didn't print, but we'll pack my patience on this one. It's still putting in higher lows. That's what's got me really interested. It's got a flat top, certainly, at that 11 high 30s. So, if this one gets parabolic, I'm definitely all eyes and ears. Let's see exactly what we got there in the chat. Yeah, Daniel T, I see eye to eye with you on that, brother. I mean, it's just kind of that's the situation there. What else we got? Grizz, 124,999.99 on May 25th, and then 125,000 on May 26th. Would you hold that bet against me if we got literally 125,000 on the 26th?
Dude, we're locked into a smart contract right now. I have no
all
say.
of a sudden we're locked in.
We're locked in, dude.
You did change the rules and everything's
It's now
fine.
written in stone now. It's all
You
written in
saw
stone.
what happened there, Neil. You were live yesterday.
It's
He
all
changed the rules on me
man.
yesterday, bro.
Hey.
He did, Katina, man. Because someone told him, look, if it moves up, you're going to have to give him IBIT shares that cost way more than if it moves down and you give him IBIT shares that are worth less. So he's like, no, we have to find a strike price. I'm like, yo, this is an after-the-fact deal, bro.
Pardon me? Yeah. 125. Yeah, regardless, right? That's how the bet should be. Where you get it at the price of 125, I get it at the price of 125.
What is
regardless of what it is, and I think that's fair. So, but
if it goes 125,000 on May 26th,
yeah.
I want my 2 IBIT shares, Joseph.
There's no way. There's no way.
I love
11:59. There's
playing,
no way,
bro.
guys.
Yeah,
having fun with this, guys. If you're enjoying the show, please just like and subscribe, everyone. So a lot of people watching. A couple more likes and a couple more subscribers isn't going to hurt the old finger there. So.
Harry Lou, Sharif, Joe, enforcing the hard stop on the bet. Hey, man, you could have said that to him yesterday when we had a deal. We had a deal. He sends me 2 shares of IBIT when we thought we could send it. We can't
but
now.
we can just do actual
He's going to
spot.
send me 2 shares of IBIT at whatever the price was once it broke that 125. But then somebody brought it to his attention. What if the price moves up? You're giving him IBIT at way higher value than he sends it to you. So all of a sudden, Harry, we had to change the rules yesterday. So if we're talking about hard stops, well, then we got to put hard stops on the terms of the agreement as well. Wouldn't you say, Harry? So let me know what you think there. Let's see what everybody else talks about. Miss Lucia says there is no way. She's counting me out here, Joseph.
A lot of people are counting you out here, my guy.
I'm good with that, bro.
So Jag even says, I'm betting you getting that money, Joe. So yeah, I think we're gonna get it. So
what else we got
really
over here? No, Dangerous Nile, not 2 BTC coins, 2 IBIT shares.
Yeah, that's insane. That would be like,
We're not sending $200,000.
$250,000 bet.
Yeah,
A $250,000 bet.
2 IBIT shares, my guy. Joseph, we got to pay some bills.
Yeah, we got to pay some bills, guys. Hive Digital Technologies on the NASDAQ, HIVE, is pioneering the digital transformation through sustainable AI solutions and Bitcoin mining. A global leader in cutting-edge data center operations with over 2,700 Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Hive consistently tops the industry in Bitcoin mined per exahash and is redefining the future by powering the world's most transformative technologies with efficient, green, and clean energy. Learn more by following them at Hive Digital Tech or at hivedigitaltech.com and sign up for free. The Hive newsletter for updates, guys, right there. You can scan that QR code as well, too. Just as Sharif is going to be scanning the QR code on my CoinSquare account and sending me over that value of 2 IBIT shares.
Fail, bro. Nah.
It's all good,
I'm going to hold up my end of the bargain. I'm gonna hold up my end of the bargain. We shook on it. We shook on it off camera. We shook on it on camera, and we're gonna hold both our ends of the bargain.
Absolutely.
But we're gonna have to send it up to Adair. She's got breaking news.
We do have news here. We have Fed's Kugler speaking right now. She said that basically the economy is resilient. Inflation rate has gone sideways and firmed, but that currently it does make sense to hold the policy rate where it is. So we've had lots of caution. I don't want to say outright hawkishness, but lots of caution coming from Fed speakers right now. And this is no exception. In case you missed it, we did have a pretty big drop in the market around 10 a.m. We got much stronger than expected inflation expectations coming through there from the University of Michigan, guys. Back to you.
No, it's not 2 BTC, guys.
we're not putting $250,000 up on the show here.
Can you imagine?
That would be
Oh
insane.
my goodness. Do you know one of the producers, the production team, excuse me, not producers, one of the former production team members has 1 BTC.
Oh, yeah?
He was like one of the only guys on the floor to have Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and he owned 1 BTC and he's just holding it, went through the pullback of 2022, weathered the consolidation of 23, and now he's probably laughing all the way to the bank.
So remember how my cousin,
Right? Yeah.
remember how my cousin chimed in?
Yeah, yes,
Yes,
2
two?
BTC?
Yeah, there you go.
What an animal.
Remember how my cousin chimed in the other day?
Yeah,
So we have a friend, a mutual friend that, well, obviously I met through him, but he has like
Yes, sir.
6 or 7 Bitcoin.
6 or 7?
Yeah, and he was
When did he
telling
pick
us,
them up?
bro, when we were young,
14,
we were
15?
yeah, we were really young, and he picked them up. So now he's living a really good life.
Good for him, bro.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
smart money right there, man. I mean, what's it called? The Winklevoss twins. I think that they were pounding
what
the
happened
table.
to those guys?
Dude, they're taking Gemini IPO. They're talking about an IPO now.
Oh, really?
Adara was showing me that yesterday. The Winklevoss twins, and they're Geminis, and their company's called Gemini.
All right,
Surprise, surprise.
so there you go.
So they're looking at IPOing. That's being discussed now as possibly for 2025. Not like we don't have enough crypto companies. Adara, what do they do? Do they mine? Are they an exchange? She's going to find out and get. Thank you, Adara. I appreciate that. So we'll have to. We'll know exactly. She'll let us
That's
know.
what's still going down, apparently, guys. A lot of people
Everything.
are talking
The
about,
entire market.
yeah.
Apple's down 2%. Microsoft down 1/3, 1 1/3. Goggles 3.5. Amazon 3 3/4. Tesla 1.5. Nvidia's the only one that's flat, Joseph. It's literally at 128. 60. So it's the only one looking right now that it might be able to recover. We'll see. Jay Ducati, Sharif. The best way to do it. Let's bring it over here. We'll throw that on there. Jay Ducati. Sharif, the best way to do it is both of you buy 2 shares of IBIT now. Then, when you do the exchange, it will be an even win-loss.
We already established kind of the metrics of everything. We're getting a flat rate on that.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, so.
I think it's not a bad idea. I think we're just going to stick with the one we got right now. Jag, Joe, Sharif, all the tariffs that's going to be around by May 25th, $1 is going to be 3 Canadian. Stop, bro. 3 Canadian dollars. This is really good deal for you, Joe. Sorry, Sharif. Trump's tariffs not helping your case. We'll have to see, man. I don't know. There's a lot of tailwinds. We could get some, the currency, or what's it called? The Bitcoin reserve, blah, blah, blah. You guys know the deal. Walter, he wants to look at BBAI. I got BBAI on the side chart, my man, but it's still, you're not really pleasing me in terms of price action over here. Here's what I'm looking at. Big Bear, there it is right there. And I'm looking for that move back above. It has a nice bottoming tail candle, kind of a hammer candle, a reversal candle there off that 8.25 bounce. And now we're dealing with 8.5, but we're still putting in lower highs, guys. So I need to see a little bit more of that higher low, higher high situation. Adara is at the big desk.
Yeah, so I've done a little bit of a deep dive here to Gemini. This is their website. Of course, we're not sponsored by them, but I wanted to show you guys. So for context here, Gemini Trust, which is basically brought to you by the Winklevoss twins, known for the Facebook situation back in the day. Basically what happened here is this is a cryptocurrency exchange, Sharif. So that's what Gemini does. They are a crypto exchange. And fun fact, they're actually the first licensed Ethereum exchange in the U.S. So this is the first licensed Ethereum exchange in the U.S. That was as of 2016. They started operating here in 2015, and basically they facilitate the purchase and storage of Bitcoin through a pretty complex private key system. So that's some context there for those asking about Gemini, which we are hearing reports is likely to IPO soon. So keep an eye on Gemini. Also, fun fact, Sharif, the Winklevoss twins are not Geminis. They're actually cusp Virgo and Leo. So that's my deep dive here on Gemini, the crypto exchange that is likely to IPO soon. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adair, man. Yeah, look, if you guys want something done proper, convince Adair to do a deep dive. That's what I say. Where are we at? We're almost at 499,000 followers, Joseph.
Bang.
You see that number right there?
Yeah,
Guys, we're at 498,924. Needless to say,
You're the fool that doesn't hit the like and subscribe button.
Dang.
get him, Neil. No, needless to say.
Oh, how we drop a subscriber there?
Well, because, people are quite like
yeah, man.
They're resubscribing probably to see if they're-
maybe I'll do that too there. Let's see if this thing here works here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't do that
Don't do
actually.
it,
Yeah,
Joseph.
I'm not going to do it here because.
So
yeah,
needless to say, it helps the algorithm substantially once we pass, obviously, a certain point. You guys know exactly what that point is. That's why we're throwing it up there. We've been really doing well, guys, with subs lately. I don't know if you guys have been noticing. Viewership is up substantially. We're doing 10,000, over 10,000 in the morning now. You and I had 9,200 in the aftermarket show at one point. During the Tuesday aftermarket show. So, guys, we really do all we can to kind of move the needle with subs. It would really help. I mean this for you guys to smash the like, subscribe if you're a viewer. I got to tell you, we had record number of viewers, but we also had a substantial amount of those viewers who were not subscribed. So we would definitely love to have you guys back every day.
Here we go. Here's an incentive.
What's up?
And this is going to be risk-free to you, Sharif, all right?
Yeah.
So here it is.
Go.
We hit 499. I will double my side of the bet. We hit 499. By the end of our show, I will double my side of the bet.
I'm making fake accounts right now.
That's it. It's done. 499. That's it. It's done.
I love it. We already got
I told you. Okay, no, maybe it's not. I'm joking. 499.
You can't take that back.
I won't take it back. I won't take it back. Let's go.
Hold on, before Darren, we got the
here
Katina
says
man chiming in.
499.
Here we go. What do we got?
Get it, Joe.
Hey, bang.
I love it. Midday love, guys. All right,
Midday
Darren's
love,
at the big desk.
Robinhood spiking with volume actually to the upside. Nice little push here, and some of the largest volume we've seen since the open for HOOD. They do report earnings next week after the bell. No news on this, but I think it is worth noting we have this push to the upside. Also, some comments coming in a little bit hawkish here or cautious from Fed's Kugler saying that the neutral rate has actually risen a little bit, not as much though as some others are expecting. So basically what that means is we had heard talk that the neutral rate could be 2%. Some people asked Fed Powell, at a recent press conference, do you see that the neutral rate has actually risen to 3%? Fed's Powell said no, they still want to get it to 2%, but now it seems like some Feds are thinking that 2% might be a bit unlikely as of right now. Back to you.
Yeah, that's a really interesting right there, Adair. Thank you very much for that. All right, guys, let's get back to some trading, baby.
Let's go.
And here it is. So this is what I'm looking at. I'm still looking at CDT because it's been holding this $3 level for a while since I got stopped out of this monster. It's still holding VWAP. It's got that 1235 candle that bounced off VWAP that just very, very momentarily breached 3. Now we're kind of doing this holding pattern where we're ranging between 3 and about 3 1/5, 320 give or take. So if we start getting higher highs and higher lows, maybe we'll weasel back into this one. VSAT, this one came right back into my entry at 1105. I got stopped out, break even on the last remaining amount. It is coming into VWAP though. VWAP 10 3/4, a little bit higher than 10 3/4. Technically right now waiting at 1077. It's showing me 87s. VSAT, good one on the day, but kind of giving back a little bit. Now, this is the reason why I didn't weasel into Big Bear, because we got that high and then now we're putting in a bit of a lower high over here. So this is an area crest at 860. Now we're all the way back down into 840. So I need to see a decided change from Big Bear AI in order to weasel in. So that's what I'm looking at right now, Joseph. I'm looking at CDT, BBAI, and VSAT. The Katina man is long Tesla, short Tesla at 370s. And he's been printing up a storm because it dipped in to 368.50. So the Katina man is biased short on the Cybertruck right now. And if you want to follow along what the Katina man's doing, you should be subscribed to that more Trader TV channel, Joseph, because they'd get a lot of information from that if they were. Let me know if you guys you need the link to that, because I think it is in the description of this video. Joseph, what do you got, brother?
Hey, good look there. I'm getting some messages on the side. We might be hitting that, but it is also 1 o'clock, guys. So you know what that means. But 1 second, we're going to touch on some IBIT before we tap into the Playmaker poll as well too. So here we go. Add here. Pulled back. We didn't get stopped out, break even. Now going to test these lows. So, I mean, looking really good on the shorts today. Katina Man short the short Tesla. I'm short IBIT right now. I mean, the market's continuing to drag lower and lower, Sharif. But are you ready? My guy.
Oh, we're doing SPY?
Yeah, we're doing
My
SPY.
bad.
We're doing it live, man.
Yeah, we're doing it live. I love that.
We're doing it live, man.
Bill O'Reilly. What an animal, bro. Angry dude. Like him, though. All right, here we go.
All right,
Let me know
let's
when
go.
you're ready.
41, man. Whopping 41 entries. That is absolutely insane, guys. I know a lot of you haven't said that you've been doing this, but I think it's a great time to start. Not one day, day one. Always remember that, Sharif. I know you like that. Let's go.
That's good.
You like
That's
that.
really good. All right, Joseph.
Yeah.
602.25.
602.25.
We're taking everything out for profits at 604.25.
Love it. Stop loss.
And then we're taking the stop 601.25.
601.25.
Yeah, baby.
Like that one. We're in right on time here today, guys.
Hey,
so we like that
nice.
here. Let's see what's going on. Today is the 8th. Am I correct? Feb 8th. Wow, time just flies, man. Time just flies. We're in 100. Let's take a look at the current equity curve as well too. Just to the northeast, man. This is stellar. Like, I mean, we haven't had any crazy outlying days. We got stopped at once. We haven't hit a 2-to-1 since what, January 14th. So about a month, close to a month since we've hit a 2-to-1 on the SPY. But other than that, it's just been a nice little win, nice little win. But keeping that common denominator of that loss of $100 is really helping this strategy, guys. Keep that in mind. So hopefully we hit a 2-to-1 soon. It might be today because market looks like it wants to go to the top side here.
Yes, sir. All right, we got a super chat here that we did not get to. Ayo, Lewis. $5 super chat. My man is dropping cash in the chat.
It's the 7th, man. You let me go on and type in the 8th here. Gotta tell me. Everybody tell me. Yeah, I'm saying it's the 8th. I was asking if it was the 7th, right? But no one said anything. It's okay.
My bad.
I said it was the 8th. Yeah, I'm a little ahead of myself, man.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Everything's good. Sharif, could you please say... No. Dude, you're asking me to big up a division rival. Like, you know, would I ask the Katina Man to cheer for the Lions or for the Bears? You know, what other? Who else is in the Vikings? Thank you, Minnesota. I mean, he wouldn't do that. You're asking me to cheer for a division rival. That is borderline blasphemous, but I'm gonna do it for you.
He paid, man. He paid.
Yeah, that's so. You know what? If you pay, that's it.
That's it.
So that's it.
Man.
I've got to do what he wants.
You
all right.
Do it, man.
Fly, Eagles,
oh my God!
fly.
Someone clip this here. Someone clip it.
I'm 3 for 3 of my calls. He goes on to say, Joseph, 41% Meta, 41% TEM, 96% HIMS. My man's 100% there. Get it, my man. Shout out to Ayo Lewis. Hope you're printing up multiple storms, my guy. Very happy for you. I said, please. He's dropping more cash in the chat there. We're gonna do it for you anyway, man. Because I'm just a good sport like that. And besides, you guys got a good game coming up. I think you guys got a hell of a team. You know, envious of you guys. Anytime Randy's here, I gotta watch out for missiles flying my way, man. This guy, he's like,
I'm clipping that, eh?
You saw that?
No, I'm clipping the Fly Eagles Fly, and I'm playing it. I'm playing it.
I want to see that TikTok video.
Dude, that's
Where's that TikTok video?
Hey, I have no access to that. I have no access to that video, man. I have zero. It's gonna be a tough one for me to get a hold of that video, but it's not gonna be hard for me to get a hold of that Fly Eagles Fly and then make it an animation here. So, bang.
Well, guess what, Joseph? You know, once we get to know each other a little bit more, if I meet some of your friends,
Ayo Lewis screen recorded. It's over for you now. Send that to me. Send that. Okay.
Hit me right in the face.
Dude,
why would you do that?
Okay. Anyways, guys, send me that Ayo Lewis. Send me that on X, please. Josh Allen accuracy there.
I don't usually flex on like people around me, but I'm gonna have to throw around some. If I get hit again, someone's gonna get hurt. I'm just letting you know.
It ain't me.
If it ain't me, if I get hit again, somebody's getting hurt.
No.
You do it, but it's on your own risk. Here we go. Yeah. All right. So I'm looking right now on CDT. We're looking for a 335 break. There's obviously resistance at this level. We've been kind of zigging and zagging at 335. We're up 112%. I'm taking another shot at this bad boy. We'll see if we can move up here. I should probably layer my orders so that if this does squeeze, at least I get something. And then if it comes right back down. So I'm looking at 35s for my first profit taker, and then I'm looking at 45s next. Here we go. We're moving up a little bit. We're not parabolic quite yet on CDT, but that's what I'm looking for right now on this one. What are you looking at, Joseph Wilson?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are saying they don't want that Sharif smoke, man. I'm like, I don't know if you want that, man. So you have to use at your own risk. If
you will have to.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not joking about
He's not joking. See, like, a dude, serious, man. We're getting him in the ring there and doing some jits too. So we'll have some fun with that. Guys, let's see what's going on. We're out of this IBIT trade now. It's starting to pull back. I mean, it's Friday. Oh, wow. Okay, Ram. He's Superman.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
Okay. Or was that you, Fabian? Yeah, Randy's Superman there. Yeah, he's got the shirt. I thought you were getting the Superman. Did you see the trailer for the new Superman, Sharif? I don't know. Did you see the trailer for the new Superman?
I have not.
No, it doesn't. It looks all right. No, it doesn't look anything outstanding. But the new Jurassic Park looks pretty good. I'm a big Jurassic Park guy. But yeah, guys, let's get back to the market's really starting to curl over here. So identical price action patterns on the SPY and the Qs. So a nice rounded bottom here. I don't know if I can draw this. I wonder if there's a tool, because I know Michael Knopf always has those rounded bottoms drawn on his chart. So let's see if I can figure out something that will do that. No, I'm not going to get too into it right now anyways. But guys, turning back over, at some point, are we going to reject the volume-weighted average price or head back to the downside? So I think time will tell on that one. The volume is starting to dwindle. It is Friday as well, too, guys. So you have to keep that in mind. Those afternoon buy programs usually, I'm not going to say usually, but again, volume really dwindles. So you just have to be really patient and not expect those outsized moves in the latter half of today's market. So again, just keep it cool. It is Friday. Have a little fun with Sharif and I. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm curious, are we close to that? Did we hit the 499 yet? Are we relatively close? No? All right, cool.
We're
so
at
I'm safe.
half.
I'm safe. Yeah, I got about an hour, so I don't have to double up my side of the bet, Sharif. But what are you up to over there, my guy?
All right, I just sent the tickers off, guys. So we're going to get that new poll for you very, very soon. So make sure you are hanging out with us in the chat, but you got to be a subscriber in order to engage with Joseph and I in the chat, as well as the big kahunas. You got to be a subscriber in order to vote. Again, we're almost at that 500,000 mark. We're at 498.47, guys. So if we could hit 499 today, leave off Friday on a great note, I think we would all be very pleased as dang punch, as Adara likes to say. So yeah, we'd really appreciate your support, guys. If you guys are watching, if you're not subscribed, just have a look to see if that sub button's hit on the homepage. We'd be very, very grateful to you guys. All right, let's see what people are talking about here in the chat. Greg Moore, I like NVIDIA for a target of 133. Okay, sounds good. I think Joseph was in NVIDIA earlier. Harry Lou, your Eagles meme needs to be the new animation for printing money on small caps. That's a fantastic idea, Harry. You're coming up with some bangers today. Harry Lou, consider it done. I'm going to be doing this a lot more, probably on the screen. We'll have the best production team around clip that, and then maybe we'll make it into an animation. We do have a newer animation. Andre, can you send me that new one that we put together?
Oh, yeah, send that one there.
The one, I don't want to say the name because it's kind of a surprise. So Ram, if you could send me that, that would be fantastic. All right, guys, the new poll is up. Uber is the #1 on the list, and rightfully so, because it's up 9.5%. This thing is on the way up, possibly to $80. We were talking about this thing at $60, and now it's $17 clear of that level. So keep your eye out on that. Yes, get it, Katina, man. Escape Planet. Does RR fit into your small cap small cap rules. Let's have a look. Let's see what Rich Tech Robotics is up to. On the day, I haven't had a look at that one, Joseph, so let's look. Okay, so here we go. Rich Tech Robotics is breaking out. It's up 9%. It's above the pre-market high. It's above the daily high, and it's above VWAP, obviously. So yes, this does work within my rules, but let's look at the volume. So we got 14 million shares of volume on a $3 name. That is not too bad. In addition to all that, look at the new volume. This is increasing. The volume is increasing. It's not decreasing. So the breakout here is being supported with more volume. So I do like this. This has earned its way onto the side chart. Thank you for calling this out. I did not have eyes on Rich Tech Robotics. But as I see it, finally, bro, we're getting some prints on this. Here we go. CDT. The bid is really going up now. We got shares on right now. So let's go. Let's throw out some over here on CDT. I'm negative on it, just full disclosure, but I'm looking to do a little bit better. Here we go. 50 pennies. A huge seller at 50 pennies. Look at all that, taking him out. Can we move up a little bit more? Wow, every level above 50, just like last time, has aggressive selling. We're long 28s. Can we squeeze up a bit more? I mean, we're right there. Let's go. CDT, sell, boom, we take it out right there. Now we're waiting at 65s. Here's 55s. Let's see, 58s. This is really squeezing, guys. Be careful here. This could turn. Remember, the high of the day is 370, but that pre-market high is in the high 90s. Let's see if this one keeps going. We're doing well on this one. So now it's showing 60s. Let's see if this one can keep going. It's really got an aggressive bid behind it right now. There's not too much posted. There's 60s. There goes 60s. Let's see. Now there's size at 62s. About 458 lots. No, sorry, not 458 lots. About double that. About almost 1,000 lots there that was just posted. We don't even know what the iceberg is. Excuse me, at this level. Now, the high of this candle, 63s. I'm waiting at 65s. Zigging and zagging right now with that 50 penny area. We're above some of the highs that we were rejecting last time. So you can already see by moving up into that low 60 area, we were definitely above these areas right here. But look at how it just comes right down below that half dollar. That half dollar has been elusive to close above. We've wicked above it. As you saw, we just wicked into the 60s. But closing, it's been really tough. There is a seller or someone shorting at this level that's been keeping it down. I'm willing to bet it probably has something to do with my rule and the theory that if you take it below the pre-market high, there are bag holders in the pre-market that are looking to get the hell out, and that's why it keeps you down like this. Is kind of why I have that rule. But we got it at a good price. We got it on the bounce of VWAP, so we're in the money right now. I don't want to take too much out here because I feel like this one may squeeze above 4, and if I could save the majority of my shareage for that squeeze, if it squeezes, I'd like to be able to do that. It's up 125%. Joseph, what do you got?
Yeah, man, do you see this here? Did you know you can do this on TradingView? Or whatever,
Yeah,
whatever it is. That's right. I got it. I copied off Nos there, Nos boss. So yeah, I mean, putting that in there. So I just mentioned the rounded bottoms there, guys. Really starting to recover here in the market. The SPY really, well, not really, but it is starting to trade right below the volume weighted average price. So we got to keep an eye out for that if we decide to break through it with momentum, or we're going to reject it and head back to the south side. So we're going to continue to monitor. I mean, if Google and some of these other big names start to get the ball rolling, then I think they're going to drag the overall market up. Let's take a look at what Amazon is up to.
Hey, there it is. Thank you.
Play it again. Play it one more time there.
Hold on. Wait till we get the print, then we'll do it.
Okay. Oh, are you in DJT or
No,
you're in
no.
CDT? All right, we're going to wait for the print and then get that dance? Okay, I need that one too, man.
No, that's just for me.
Let's see what else is going on here. So we got Amazon starting to creep back towards VWAP as well too. So these big names really starting to show some signs of strength. Geez, that was a tough one. Let's see what NVDA is up to as well, guys. Are we going to start to recover? Yeah, so there we go. Back to that 29, mid 129s on NVDA. I mentioned at least 132 on the session. So let's see if we can get there. There is a lot of time left. I mentioned that volume dies off on Fridays, but today doesn't seem to be the case, Sharif, as these stocks start to recover. So, I mean, if they move higher, the overall market moves higher. And that's exactly what we're looking for right now, is to gain some more ground here from what we have lost earlier in the session. So only time will tell, and it's going to very shortly. I think I might play a rejection of something along these lines, because that volume is dwindling. So we have to be just be wary of those types of signals and then look to take advantage of those. But as of right now, sitting on my hands, Sharif.
All right, Joseph, we're getting back into that 60 penny area again on CDT. And again, it is not forthcoming for a break. So again, we see the short selling, the taking of profit, or whatever is happening here. There we go, back to 60. So there does look like there's an equal amount of aggressive buying on the dips, but there isn't enough. Not quite yet to push it above. So we've gotten it above some key levels, but this level over here, the one that we keep rejecting off, and you could see we had lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. I kept mentioning this to you guys last time, and that to me just signaled an algo that was basically looking to get its entry on the prior bar high. And every time we tried to attempt to get back to the prior bar high, it would move down its sell order a couple of shekels, 1 or 2 pennies. And that's what I perceived over here. And this is kind of what it seems like it's doing again. Here we go, 60, seller at 60, seller at 62, seller at 63, 65. Let's go, cross, bro. 65, huge seller at 65. So it's not selling, it's not printing at 65. Boom, there it is finally. Let's put some more orders now into the higher areas. Let's go over here. Let's set it up at 77s. Joseph, are you paying some bills or what?
I am. All right, guys, let's get right into it. Worksport introducing a new discovery on the NASDAQ. Worksport, ticker WKSP. Worksport is a U.S.-based manufacturer and rapidly expanding with growing revenues, government contracts, and innovative green energy products designed to power your life off-grid. Whether you're on the move or seeking sustainable energy solutions, Worksport has you covered. Now trading on the NASDAQ under WKSP. Discover the future of clean energy with Worksport, guys.
Adara, what's up?
It's up on X at TTV Research. It's a pretty packed one here in Sharif. So I'm going to shout you out here. We have Palo Alto Networks reporting after the bell on Thursday. Thursday is probably the biggest post-evening earnings for next week. We have Twilio, Roku, Coinbase, Airbnb, DraftKings, Applied Materials, and Palo Alto Networks. But Wednesday night's pretty big as well. We've got Robinhood, Fastly, Cisco, AAPL, and Reddit. So definitely check out these earnings and check out this board on X. At TTV Research. We even have earnings on Friday morning, which we don't always have. Enbridge and Moderna both set to report. So keep an eye on this. And again, check us out on X at TTV Research. Back to the Bash Brothers.
I said I'd hit it if we got. That's the one. There's no audio with that though. Yeah, I guess we need to include audio. We're not in the dollar club. But there's the Donald. He looks a lot younger there, dude.
He does look a lot.
Right? I think that's probably Donald 1.0, and that's not 2.0 for sure. He looks. He's a little bit older now. That's normal. People age, Joseph. Guys, BBAI is breaking out. There we go. $9 incoming on Big Bear. There's aggressive buying right now on Big Bear AI, $898. Here comes $899. This is about to take out $9. What a recovery. I mean, I don't feel bad for not trading this because this came into an area that I did not chart, and I wouldn't have not charted this area. This didn't hold at the 10. It didn't hold at the 20. I didn't perceive there to be any price action support at this level, except, for a few kind of zig and zag candles there at this 8.25 area. And then, it didn't hit VWAP either at 801. So I don't feel too bad about not taking this, but what a move up for Big Bear AI. It looks destined to take out that $9 area. Great move for BBAI at these levels, especially since we've been watching it all day. And I don't want to say it's predictable because earlier it was predictable when it really held the 10 exponential quite well. You could just basically look to shadow your entry off a pullback into the 10 and you were in the money. But that all ended right around kind of this area over here at almost 12 o'clock. You can kind of feel the algo that was buying it got turned off. It may be back on now, $8.99, showing right now. It looks like it's destined to take out $9, and it's probably attracting a lot of attention because CDT pulled back again. So we got into the 70 area, and now we're at 55. So I think, a lot of the traders that are really looking for that big squeeze name could be looking at Big Bear right now as it really does the dance with $9. Let's load up Big Bear over here. Do we have it? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so there is lots of size at 9. There's several thousand lots. I can't count them all that quickly because it keeps moving. It looks as if to be maybe about 5,000 lots or so, maybe more. Keep your eye on that. It's posted at $9. Here we go. Now you can kind of get the look of how much size is posted. And I have every single gateway. Okay, most of the gateways that are on there, I have the permissions for them thanks to Brenkels and the floor manager team now, because there's 3 of them. But there it is. So that's only the size that we can see, guys. Keep that in mind, right? Because there could be a lot of hidden orders as well, hidden sellers, excuse me, an iceberg order as we call it, that we can't see. And the only way we can kind of gauge how big the iceberg is by keeping your eye on the time and sales and trying to make comparisons between how much size is coming in versus what's posted on the level 2. Okay, and one other way I do it as well is to see how much size is getting taken off the level 2 when you're getting those prints. So for example, say you're at $8.99, right? And then you have a whole bunch of prints coming at $8.99, but the size over here is not being taken off. It's kind of staying stagnant or even adding to it. So then you kind of have an idea that there is a seller of note that's hiding their order, and that should make you on alert a little bit. There it goes. It takes out the level. Big Bear AI into 905. It just took out all those levels. 33.25. We're going on 34. This could squeeze. I have no idea what the short float is. Finding out right now, BBAI. We do have a 21.7% short float. Trade Ideas is saying 101.87 million shares. Let me see what my platform is saying about that. BBAI, let me have a look. So with respect to share float, I have 99 million, 0.6. So 99.6 million, and Trade Ideas is telling me 101. So not much of a variance there, so we can kind of go with that. So Big Bear AI, huge move up. Zigging and zagging right now with $9, but it's above it. That's the most important part. Let's see if it stays above it and whether it wants to continue to squeeze. And then one thing you can do to kind of try to, I don't want to say you use the word guess, but to make an educated assessment, there we go, I kind of dodged that guess word there, by chart it on the daily or on the wider time frame. And your idea here is to see, okay, well, if we're at these price levels and we're still got a higher short float, where could the shorts be involved? Well, we haven't been at $9 on Big Bear AI since May of 2022, okay? So you can make the educated assumption that the levels that people are holding the shorts at are at 1150, maybe down all the way into that 10,950 area. Or even higher, right? I mean, it really depends on where the majority of the shorts got in. And then one thing you can also do is zoom in on this area over here and look where the majority of the volume is, especially red day volume. Okay, so try to make educated guesses as to where the shorts are holding. It's a lot easier said than done. But this is kind of, just we're talking on the fly right now with respect to short float. Adara, what's up?
We're here of Meta here, META. Basically, this one, apparently, according to the information, the company issued company-wide communication to staff on Friday about these job cuts that are going to be announced on Monday. So keep an eye on META, reportedly preparing staff for upcoming job cuts, according to the information. Back to you.
Thank you for that. As always, Adara, guys, let's see what we got going on here. So what we did is we added to our Google position. We're going to see if NVDA can hold the volume-weighted average price. But as of right now, holding on Google, where we put on the most size, looking for this recovery. One thing that I do like here, guys, is this V-shaped pattern that I often talk about. And it's looking like we might put that in here. So consolidation phase, sell lower, nice indecision prints here. Missed the entries on those, but that's okay. And then a nice little consolidation phase right here. So I think that we can go and tap into at 187. So I'm looking forward to that. And if it comes to fruition, then that'll be nice for us on the session. We were so close to hitting a 2-to-1 on the Playmaker as well. A high of 603.79, it seems to be the case. Well, not high, but a local high, if you want to call it that, a pivot high, sorry, I should say. But now pulling back in as some of these big names continue to sell. Tesla rejecting the volume-weighted average price as well, guys. So we have to be wary of that. If the market's going to reject the VWAP, then we might have to get out of Dodge and then find something else to trade. But, Sharif.
Yes, sir.
We got another $2 super chat. Luis Suarez, Can BBI do any BBAI do any offering at the end of the day? Would you know anything about that?
So I responded to him.
Yeah.
They don't have to wait till the end of the day. They can do it midday. How many times have we been trading AMC, Neil? And all of a sudden, boom, the price starts dropping. It flushes. That's the word I'm trying to look for there. Well, what's going on? Oh, we took advantage of the bump up in price for an offering so that we could raise at a way higher price and make more money, obviously. So they can do it midday. You need to be on alert for that because they do it all the time, especially the small-ish companies that really have trouble raising capital. If they go into the debt market, they're going to get rinsed. And so they look to do it through equities, obviously, and the way they do it is by raising midday. So definitely, you're absolutely right about that, but they don't have to wait to the end of the day. They can certainly do it midday. Be careful, okay? We're long Big Bear AI at 10s. I just took some there at 20s. Now there's a huge seller at 20s. You got taken out 21s now. Let's see if this one wants to keep squeezing. I'm going to throw out another order at 30s, assuming we're able to get above this 21. 22s now showing up aggressive buying on Big Bear right now, so we'll keep tabs on that one. I still have to monitor my position on CDT because CDT looks like it's coming down close to my entry. But as Big Bear AI chops and turns at 25s, now we're at 25. Boom, we take out 25s there on the ask. So now we're waiting at 30. So good look right now. I've already moved up my stop to about 905, so it's going to have to hold this 9-ish area. Back to CDT. Look at this. I had to take some out there. Now we're coming into my area of 323. Anything below 320, Joseph, I am gone. I am not going to give back on this trade. I was already negative on it. So if we don't take out these levels over here, come what may, I'm taking it out. What are you looking at?
Yeah, I'm looking at Rich Tech Robotics right now, Sharif. This thing is absolutely soaring to the top side, trading at 320, putting in a really, really nice session, punching through VWAP with just extreme momentum. And I went and I looked at this thing from a daily. I think this is the one. I don't know. This might be the one I might just put $1,000 on and just let it do whatever. I don't know what this thing.
A lottery ticket?
Yeah, it's a pure lottery ticket, dude.
Like
An
that.
expensive
Fair.
one. Expensive one at that. But I mean, here we go. Trying to hit that 10-bagger, man. So let's see if that works out. I would have liked it down here at 211. Would have been up close to 100% as of right now. A little bit more than that, Sharif. We're trading at 316. Oh, well, not 100%, but almost double there. So, I mean, trading to 318 now and continuing to move. I think that this thing can maybe go and test those all-time highs eventually. I don't know. We're going to have to dig into the fundamentals of this thing over the weekend and see what's going on. But, I mean, these humanoid droids, I think that's the next thing. A lot of people, including myself, if we had the ability to get one and like it does cleaning and washes dishes and laundry, sign me up all day. So that's what I'm looking for in those names. Okay, guys, let's take a look at Bitcoin as well. Also starting to recover. We know that we tapped into that 101,000 just below it, so 100,000 and change, and now slightly recovering. There is some resistance levels or support levels at the 94 and the 92 that we know of. So we are bouncing off of these levels really clean. And then, yeah, what do you guys think about Bitcoin? I know we have a bet, Sharif and I, but I want to know how much longer we consolidate. Do we dip below 90? Just let me know your thoughts, everybody in the chat, because I'm super curious on what everybody thinks about this. I know there's a lot of Bitcoin bears, but there's also a lot of people who are bullish on Bitcoin. Don't get it twisted. For the long term, I am absolutely a Bitcoin bull. And how could you argue that? Look at this thing's history. It's absolutely insane. The one thing that's just kind of irking me is that the fact that these consolidation phases have been so long and then the moves to the top side have not been that extended. Again, you go on this nice move, and yeah, we can consider it like, yeah, Joe, this thing moved 33% or whatever it may be to the highs here, but then it's like, okay, you get that move, and then you just hop right back into like a 10K range, 15K range. It's kind of, yeah, it's annoying, but that's it. I think it dumps. A lot of people says Mimidron, Darth Buddha 5050. I like that you take me on X, Darth. Appreciate that. Not below anymore, says Steve Skashlik. Sorry if I butchered that name. Max Payne for BTC would be range bound for 6 months. You think so, Mark Stone? I mean, we've done that already, right? So think about when we enter this consolidation phase in March, and then we don't exit it until November. So again, maybe you're right, but that is a long period of time. Cigar stash here says 110 to 120 would be the top this cycle. You think that 110 and 120 is going to be the top to this cycle? I mean, we've just entered the second year of it. So we got 2 more full years, essentially, even more than that. And usually the third year in the cycle is the most bullish one. So, I mean, really, really interesting there. Angelo says BTC to 177K. Love the chiming in here as well, too, guys. Keep getting that feedback. Keep sending that feedback in, because I want to see what you guys are thinking about it as well, too. It needs the consolidation. So zero gravity Zen and regulars, it needs the consolidation, then pull back to compress. It even further, then breakout, episodic pivot. You could also get yourself, what does that mean? What does that mean, incredible Mr. Liv? I'm not even going to read that out loud. But yeah, I mean, I agree on the consolidation, because the moves, it takes so much capital to move these things now that you need kind of new groups of individuals to step in and move the price higher. So that's really interesting. I agree with you, Joe, but if the government start buying up BTC, that's a big trigger for an extended rally and shorter consolidation period. I agree with you, B. Joe. I totally agree with you on that. I think it just needs something really positive to give this name an additional leg to the top side. And I do think in the long run, if we really run into that supply and demand factor of this thing, Bitcoin, probably in my lifetime, I would not be surprised if it's $1 million. Like, yeah, what, on your trade, or Bitcoin $1 million?
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? But no, I'm a true believer of that. If this thing finds a specific use case, so what I was reading about the other day, so Sharif, domestically, like for you and I,
yes, sir.
Bitcoin it's like whatever, right? Because you and I, we can e-transfer each other.
Yes.
But the one thing is internationally that is really positive is that you eliminate so many fees, right?
Absolutely.
Right, and it's a fixed cost to transfer Bitcoin. It can be whatever the price amount, and it's fixed. So that's really interesting and makes it significantly easier to transfer money around the world than our current financial system. So if that really comes into play, it can send this thing to astronomical numbers.
No question about it. Let's talk about the other cryptos that we could use as well. I mean, isn't everybody talking about Solana and their fees? Like, I don't know. I'm not vouching for this, but XRP.
Right.
Some people, or Solana, they have this this new ETF, I think, and they were saying the commercial on CNBC was that it was like 28 times faster than ETH. I don't know if that's true, whether that's BS or not. But the point is, it's my knowledge, as limited as it may be about these other altcoins, no, I don't want to call them altcoins, other cryptocurrencies, is that they're cheaper to send than like the costs are a little bit lower. Is that accurate? Or
stable coins or altcoins are you referring to?
I think, well, all these like Solana, ETH.
Okay, well, so the thing is with
XRP,
Bitcoin is like the transaction time's a little slow, and it can only do so many transactions per second or something along those lines, right? And they're just more efficient at those transactions.
Right.
So that's like kind of one of the issues, I guess.
I see.
With Bitcoin, it's slower. It's a lot slower method, right?
Like what I was hearing was, you know, that if I wanted to send money internationally, XRP had some of the best rates, and that's why it was kind of boosted up there. I mean, I'm not really too sure. That's not really what I'm involved in it for. I'm involved in it for an inflation hedge.
Okay.
Fiat, you can't trust these central governments to do the right thing. To do what the right thing that you perceive it to be. Maybe they think they're doing the right thing by adding liquidity into the market and helping maybe people that would be hurt otherwise. So there is that side, obviously, to QE and to printing and all that kind of stuff. But that hurts the fiat. I mean, I'll give you an example, dude. Egypt, everyone knows I'm from there. My cousin, he's a well-off guy in Egypt, right? Well-off guy, inherited money. All his money, Joseph, was in Egyptian pounds. Not all his money, the majority of his money. Then they let the Egyptian pound float naturally against the US dollar, not artificially keeping it up, which is what a lot of these banks do. All of a sudden, Joseph, when they allowed it to float against the US dollar, his wealth got cut exponentially. Because nobody gave him more pounds, Egyptian pounds, to make up for the difference that he had lost. So he needs to be able to hold that in a different asset, right? in something that isn't going to lose its value. How many people in Argentina got rinsed by that? How many people in Turkey got rinsed by that?
From hyperinflation.
Hyperinflation. So that's why I'm involved in crypto, because I just don't trust going forward that fiat is going to be, to be able to maintain its value.
I mean, but that's where I'm starting to really, I didn't know how I felt about stable coins, but again, it's kind of another way to transfer fiat currency significantly faster and easier internationally, right? It costs significantly less. And that's why I kind of find it more easy, and then I started to follow it a little bit more, and I agree with kind of the theory of kind of creating this digital fiat currency as well.
And weren't a lot of people talking about possibly what's it called? Some of the stable coins like USDC, Tether, I think is the other one, being good for corporations, because corporations have all these what they call Forex headwinds, and like Amazon, $2 billion in a Forex headwind because they had to convert their money, the money that they made overseas to US dollars. They do that, they lose value. So if they had kind of had that in a stable coin, then they wouldn't necessarily be losing that value. I don't know. Fact check me, Chad. Am I saying something that's wrong? Am I misunderstanding something? I'd like to learn a little bit more. So if I've said something wrong, please tag me, explain where I've gone wrong in this, or maybe there are other uses for it that I'm not aware of. All right, guys, let's get back to CDT. I'm done my trade. I got the high of the day on BBAI, so please just punch about that. There we go. So it was a smaller trade, but we took it out there. Now I'm really focusing on CDT. Again, it's having a lot of trouble in the high 60s. It's been having trouble there. We've got higher lows, but we've got a predictable level high. I don't want to take anything out here. I don't want to paper hand the trade. I've got my orders layered into the high day break, but we are still being kept down by the pre-market high. Okay, so this really makes me feel like I'm really reinforcing my rules. I will not do this again where I get in something south of the volume weighted average price. I'm up on this current trade. I'm down on CDT on the day, but having gotten in earlier and then watch this one reject exactly where I thought it was going to be rejected really is going to reinforce that thinking in my head from now on about following my rules. Let's see what people are saying here in the chat. How about to use your own money to short your own currency? What's the sense? Explain. I mean, am I missing something, day trader? Explain to me, brother, because I don't get it. Ezekiel, I'm from Argentina, and my family and I have moved to the U.S. 20 years ago for those reasons. I'm assuming you're talking about hyperinflation. Argentina was suffering through that until this Malay guy came in and kind of got things under control.
Oh, Ahmed, man.
Harry Lou, different generations, different stores of wealth, gold for my generation. I respect that fully, Harry. I've had this conversation with you before. You've talked to me about demand destruction in the past. I remember that conversation, and I completely respect the gold. Gold is making all-time highs, so clearly you're doing something right, brother. But I think they both can be equally valid at the same time. I don't think it has to be one to the exclusion of the other. Obviously, there's a finite amount of money to go on, but I would tell you that I don't even think we've scratched the surface right here. That's just my opinion about Bitcoin. My opinion only. All right, what else we got? What was this Ahmed guy saying?
Ahmed said he's from Alexandria.
Oh,
my favorite city
that's where I'm born, baby.
Oh, you were born there?
Absolutely. Moved here when I was 4.
Yeah?
Yep.
Oh, let's go, man. That's my favorite city I've never been to.
It's on the Mediterranean, made by Alexander the Great. Beautiful city.
That's exactly why, man.
Big library. It's called the Library of Alexandria. It's got a bunch of stuff. Got books, believe it or not.
Really? Jeez.
Yes, it is. All right, guys. We're having a good time on the show. It is Friday. I'm feeling good. It's Super Bowl weekend. It's sunny outside. It's cold as a mother, you know what, but it's very nice.
Is it that cold out there?
It's really cold and very windy. Very windy. No. Very. So that's the look there. All right, guys. We're still involved in this CDT trade. And I'm getting quite annoyed with the rejections into the 60 penny area, but I'm trying to pack my patience. I'm also keeping an eye on Uber. Uber got into that $76 area, got into 76.80, and now it's back down, guys, trying to hold above 76. It did wick below 76 ever so briefly into 75.60 and then moved back up. Let's keep an eye on the chat. What do we got here? Jeremy Newman, Sharif, Joe. Can't say thanks enough. Third straight week goal hit. Have a great weekend. Gonna go build a custom closet. Get it, boys. That's my man right there. Appreciate you, Jeremy Newman. Appreciate the good vibes. Now we got to pay some bills.
Let's pay some bills, guys. eSignal. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to an elite trading experience. Analyze, strategize, capitalize. Foresee profitable opportunities with the platform you need. Infinite data, instant trading. Know where the market is moving before others with lightning fast data. Charts that change the game. Customize and analyze markets faster your way. Better backtesting and scanning. Predict the future by understanding the past. Reliable real-time data up to the second market info from hundreds of global markets. Everything you need all in one place. Don't miss a beat. Execute your best trades now. Ready to elevate your trading? Scan the QR code or check the link in the description, folks. There it is. eSignal Sharif using it every day, just showing you
Joseph,
guys how fantastic
it's a hell of a platform, man. Let's do this again. This is just some of the stuff that you can get, guys. Obviously, you got watch lists. That goes without saying. You got market depth. You've got detailed quotes. It shows you like market cap, financials, everything like that. Then you got your hot list for things that you can filter for. Look at this. For example, trade rate, trades, unfilled gaps, unusual volume, very short term down, very short term up. Like there's a zillion different ones you can go through. Above VWAP, below VWAP, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of stuff here. You got your scanners, ETF City, Forex Watch, industrial, I don't know what this is, industrial basic quotes. Yeah, I guess these are industrials. You got the Zanger volume ratio. You got option stuff on this. Needless to say, it's a jammed packed platform. It's for the, that intermediate to advanced trader or the, the people who aspire to reach those levels. It's definitely something you should have under your wing if you don't already have it from your broker. And I'll submit to you, even if you do have stuff from your broker, it likely doesn't meet the standard that eSignal has because it's very trade specific. So shout out to eSignal. Marty. Dropping the cash in the chat. Joseph
Fly, baby.
Hey, $25 super chat. Shout out to Marty McFly. It's a balmy 8 degrees Fahrenheit here in Orlando. I hate you, Marty.
Yeah. Right?
Go grab a coffee on me. Great and entertaining show as always. Cheers. We appreciate you, Marty. Kind words.
Thanks,
all
brother.
class from you there, my man.
All class.
All class. What do you got there, Joseph?
Good stuff there, guys. Brad does real estate. We'll get Bear Bulls Trader. BVB, Bears versus Bulls. Can you just drop my X tag in there? That'd be much appreciated. And then we can just click that there. Whoever asked me just that. Brad does real estate, and then you can message me on X, guys. So Trader TV, Joseph, that is me. You can find me on X, guys. So there we go. Bang, right there. Thank you, Nightbot and BVB. Appreciate you. #1 mod out there, guys. Loving that stuff. But Marty McFly, we like that as well, too. So thank you very much for that $25 super chat. Oh, guys, come on, SPY.
What?
I thought we were going to hit the 2-to-1 here, Sharif, on the SPY. We were 50 cents off of it, and we had the inability to tap into that level. And now going to the sell side, really rejecting the volume-weighted average price. It's some of these big names here, my guy. Amazon heading to the sell side, Tesla heading to the sell side, Google headed to the sell side, NVDA headed to the sell side. It's just a whole lot of red today, Adara, and I think that's going to be the case for the rest of the session.
Are we going to Adara?
No, Adara is an album. Yeah, no, I was
like, I didn't get the call.
No.
All right, guys, here's what I'm looking at. Affirm is coming back down into VWAP, and this might be an interesting trade here. Let's have a look at AFRM. So AFRM is...
Whoa. Sorry about this, Sharif.
No problem.
Sorry, Joe. We got the love, brother. We skipped this. Our bad. Good afternoon, guys. This is a $5 super chat.
My bad.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll make up for it right now, Sharif. We'll send this one to you. So,
yes, sir.
Good afternoon, guys. What do you think about mRNA? Earnings maybe be your thoughts. Here we go, Sarge.
Absolutely. So I'm not going to give you a fundamental perspective on mRNA because, well, it's biotech and that's obviously very, very niche. But I'm going to give you a technical look at mRNA. So let's flip to the daily. Obviously, it's a bit of a tougher looking stock right here. It's, you're really at, I think these are pandemic lows because I was trading it in 2020, March of 2020. Yeah? March? Yeah. Maybe a little bit after that, maybe May or April at these levels. So let's go to the weekly. It's obviously a tougher look. I mean, yeah, there we go. We went IPO back in 2019, and here is March of 2020 is over here. Yeah, so there's March of 2020. So this is the last time we were at these levels. Exactly as I thought. March of 2020. This is when I was trading this. So needless to say, this is a bad look. It's obviously 5-year lows here, give or take a month. There has to be a technical reason to get into this trade. I mean, unless you understand the science behind it and you're certain that they're going to have a hell of a product on their hands, you need this to change trend. It's just, I cannot in good conscience at all tell you to punch in here. This is not the stock, guys. I mean, we got to $500, Joseph. Yeah. We're trading at, we got a 32.72 low day. So I'm sorry, man. I wish I could give you something a little bit better. But yeah, this is going to have to make higher highs and higher lows. It's going to have to get above these moving averages. It's not. It's still bleeding. You may, have an opportunity for this if there is something cancer related. I know that they were trying to use their mRNA technology for like a cancer vaccine, a cancer cure. I still haven't seen anything really substantive enough to kind of get me involved. But again, that's not my scope of competence. So I don't want to pretend like I know more than I know about, but the technicals I can opine on, and they're not good. So I'm sorry about that. All right, guys, here we go again on CDT. We're right back into the 50s, still rejecting the 60s. I hate to keep saying this. I'm optimistic because we're putting in higher lows, but I genuinely am. The higher lows are there. I'm not imagining them. And I just perceive this as either it's going to flush and go to zero. No, I'm kidding, of course. Or it's really going to squeeze. CDT has an insane amount of volume. We have almost 125 million shares. We've been putting in higher lows literally since we made that low at around 12:35. So we've been going on an hour and 10 minutes, and it's the same area we keep rejecting at. That's mid 60s, high 60s area. It hasn't been forthcoming. Rohit, my man, thank you for the super chat. I'm going to cover that in a second for the $2, but for now, we're going to have to send it to Adara.
Look here at the US dollar because I think it's really timely. We've had a lot of updates with regards to the US dollar today, and I want to go over them all. Starting at 10 a.m., so we had a drop in the market around 10 a.m. We got slightly weaker than expected University of Michigan consumer sentiment. But the bigger issue with this print was the inflation aspect, which we know is present when you have these University of Michigan prints. So the University of Michigan one-year inflation, well below expectations. This is the preliminary print, it's worth noting, not the final print yet. But it came in at 4.3% versus 3.3% expected. So that is really big and likely part of the reason for that push to the downside in the market. But then we had another push to the downside in the market with something else that impacts the overall economy, and it was Donald Trump's comments on tariffs. We initially had Reuters saying that Trump is likely to announce reciprocal tariffs today. Then we had CNBC reporting it's likely to happen sometime next week. And then Trump himself saying that there will be a reciprocal tariff announcement next week, and that there will be reciprocal tariffs specifically on some countries. So not only will there be an announcement, Trump said that there are going to be some countries impacted by reciprocal tariffs. He didn't specify which countries, but keep that in mind. Any of those countries that threaten to levy tariffs against the U.S. in retaliation could face more tariffs. That's basically what that announcement means. I hope that makes sense. And this market certainly here, the U.S. dollar actually trying to push back to the upside, basing out here on that 107.5, and right now actually above 108. So we'll go back to the Bash Brothers.
Rohit, thank you for the $2 super chat. Reads as follows. Goodbye. At multi-year support since 2021. He's talking about Ford. Look, I'm going to look at the technicals, but this is something I feel comfortable opining on because I like cars and I think I understand the car business a little bit better than I understand biotech. So let's go ahead and have a look at the daily on Ford. Actually, let's start with the weekly, Joseph, so we can get a better view there. So yeah, good call there, Rohit. First of all, this area that we're at here, this $9 area, has been a consolidation range going back to July, October 2019. We lost the bid, obviously, during COVID. That's to be expected. We did get those back. We did get those COVID highs that we may never, ever see again on Ford at $25, $26. But yeah, to take your point, we did find support at this $9 area back on October. of 2023. We found support again in August of 2024, but we have been putting in lower highs and lower lows. I personally don't like legacy auto, okay? I don't like them for multiple reasons. I think they've gotten in their own way and they can't get out of their own way. Now, however you feel about unions, and this is not me opining on the pros and cons of unions, but the unions are basically a headwind on these legacy automakers. We can just see that based upon how they've performed versus how the other auto companies that don't have a union headwind have performed. I'm talking about Tesla. I'm talking about the Chinese EVs that don't obviously have to worry about workers' rights and stuff like that. So, you know, there's a reason why this is trading at a 5 PE. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that
no way.
I'm pretty sure it's at 6.34. I'm sorry, 6.34. Okay, so it's really ugly, and I don't know if we recover. I really don't know. But your point well taken. It's a technical level of interest. There's no doubt about that. That $9 area has held up in the past. It held up in 2011. It held up in 2012. We did again, like I mentioned, briefly drop below it during the COVID crisis, but we obviously recovered quite well, quite quickly there. So I hope that helps, Rohit. I hope you print up multiple storms on it, but I'm just not that optimistic about Ford. That's my take. Joseph, what are you looking at?
Hey, Jimmy, I'm worried about it, brother. Don't worry about that. I'm worried about it, that's for sure. So I got you, my guy. Blue Hat Interactive Entertainment Technology. Blue Hat Interactive Entertainment Technology is a producer, developer, and operator of augmented reality, okay? So interactive entertainment games and toys in China. Very interesting. Sitting at a $14 million market cap. Super small here. Let's take a look and see what we got going on from a daily perspective. Okay, not something that I would necessarily look to be getting involved in, but I mean, these gaming centers are pretty cool in my opinion. They're not as popular here in Canada, I think, as they are overseas in the likes of Asia and etc. But we got one just around the corner from here as well too, Sharif. But I think these gaming centers aren't something that we've necessarily really adopted to over in the Western world. But again, I mentioned in Asia, I think they're significantly bigger. But let's take a look at what we got going on from an intraday perspective. Okay, wow.
What happened, Katina, man?
So here we go, guys. Up 44% off the lows on the session is Blue Hat. For the long term, I don't know about this thing. Again, a really small market cap, and there's most likely a reason for that. So we just got to keep that in mind. Jimmy, that's my 2 cents on Blue Hat. Hopefully that helped you out a little bit. If you're in this thing for the long term, then just make sure you have stops in place. That's all I can say. You can see that it's not moving really well. I wouldn't consider this as any form of long-term investment vehicle. But again, to each their own. And if you think so that it's going to be positive, then by all means continue to do so. But just make sure you have those risk measures in place. Now let's see what everybody else is talking about. Martin, can we take a look at Microsoft? Absolutely. We'll pull up the soft one here. MSFT. Okay, yeah, guys, so running into some key support levels, here's Microsoft. There might be some potential downside. We know that on the street, this capital expenditure on AI is really tough and extremely high. Some people referring it to as overkill, considering we know what DeepSeek has done now. So again, the street really not liking that in the likes of Google, Microsoft, and Amazon as well too, so we got to keep that in mind. But I think these big names will recover. They're top of their class for a reason, and I think it's only a matter of time. Multiple shakeouts, but eventually everything will get back on track there, Sharif.
All right, JKS Solar, Erlina, Vicente. I haven't seen JKS since the pandemic. I don't think I've been looking at that for a while. It's still on my watch list. I know it's a Chinese solar company, Jinko Solar. Here it is. Yeah, it's another very pandemic-esque chart, right? When you got into really all-time highs, obviously, for this company, and then down into the right we go. I don't know. I don't think the current political environment is going to be as kind to solar as maybe the previous administration, which didn't end up doing well. Even the solar industry, that is, didn't end up doing all that well during the 4 years that the Joe Biden administration was in power. So I don't know, unless something fundamentally changes about what we're hearing from the Trump administration about what they're going to focus on in energy. I don't know if we catch a bid here. Now, this is a Chinese company, so there's obviously, what they're doing over there in China could absolutely help this one move up. But I got to tell you, the technicals look real ugly. And we've been rejecting the 50 over and over. I mean, we've had attempts to break above the 50 and the 200, all of which have failed. We've continued to make lower highs and lower lows on Jinko Solar. So, yeah, not my cup of tea. I had a play back in the day with, like 4 years ago or so, with a Canadian solar company called Canadian Solar. Believe it or not, CSIQ is the ticker. And that one was given to me by a friend of mine, Alfred. And you may not have heard his name in a long time. Yeah, Mr. Two-Piece Suit, or three-piece actually. And he actually had a banger swing trade on that, and that was in the mid-40s at a point. Now look at it. It's sub $1 billion market cap. It's been a tough time for these solar names. Hold on, the Katina man is chiming in.
I'd like to see Alfred back.
The Katina man would like Alfred back. Oh, consider it done. We're going to bring him back. We're going to have him come in, opine about the Mondelez and other, Tesla. Yeah, I'll read you what he, maybe I won't be able to read it because he uses a lot of expletives, Katina man. I don't know why, but that's kind of the character that he is.
Yeah.
I bought a ton of TSM and ASML dip today. I'm down like to 8% cash because he was holding a lot of cash. I'll start closing these smaller positions to free up cash if needed. And then he sends me a very unflattering animation. And he says, this is what it feels like to own a ton load of Tesla. And needless to say, the animation was interesting. So yeah, he's a character. There's no doubt about that. Shout out to him. Haven't seen him in a minute. We used to get in sessions every weekend in the summer, but obviously you can't work out outside in the winter, Joseph.
Well, you could, but I mean,
what's happening over here? Why'd that happen? Bites to bucks? Is that a new segment I'm unaware of? That was. But are we talking about the algo segment? Algo. Bites to bucks. What the hell is this? That was supposed to be the algo segment.
That's pretty cool.
And then your friend Chow over there kind of backed out, but that's okay. It wasn't. Yeah, I'm not making it up, Neil. Take care of him, Katina man. The Katina man. Oh, there you get him.
Yeah, I didn't pull it up, man.
All right, no, seriously, we're having a good time today, guys. I hope everybody is, at least positive on the week. I hope
Robert Query, thanks. I appreciate that, man. They said keep me, man.
What's that?
I know, I'm only joking.
What happened?
Robert Query says keep Joe.
Why wouldn't we keep Joe?
Yeah.
Like, Joe's he's full time now. In case you haven't noticed.
Joe.
Well, Joe's not going anywhere, baby.
Going
All right, what are we doing over here, Joe? We still got in one position. How about yourself?
I'm out, man. This market's been a rough rider's roll for yeah.
That's a rough rider's roll.
So again, just forward looking now. We'll get ready for next week. Gonna do some due diligence, work on some things for you guys. Most definitely, we're gonna be running replay this weekend, guys, as we do every evening. So we'll be doing that. We'll be refining the system, looking for some better execution, and just trying to get that 1% better every day. Best believe that is going to be happening. So I'm gonna be enjoying that. And what else was I gonna do? Yeah, I'm gonna be working on some lessons for you guys over the weekend as well too. So. Yeah, I appreciate that, Curtis Cash. Much appreciated. So yeah, that's what it is. The weekend's locked up.
You got that Strickland fight, obviously.
We got the Strickland Duplessis.
Big.
Yeah, big title fight this weekend in the UFC. I think Dricus is going to win this one. The guy is just a forward-moving rhino tank. And
he beat Strickland?
He already beat him. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
This is two. Yeah, this is MMA, two.
Yeah.
So Strickland Duplessis 2. Strickland debatably won the first fight, in my opinion. A lot of people, even Dana White, said he won the first
Really?
fight. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we got to see, but I think Duplessis takes it in the second round there, Sharif.
All right.
Second
Well,
round.
we've got obviously that. So if you're, looking for plays, you've got UFC Saturday night. Needless to say, we got the bowl, the big game.
Oh, the bowl,
Sunday
yeah.
night. I
Is
may or
Jeremiah
may not
been
make it
focused
into
on
work on Monday. Obi's on watch. What's that? RSI.
Video coming out.
Is that Neil's video? Is that the Neil's video? It's everyone. Okay, guys, we got a sick video coming out this weekend. It's educational. We talk about RSI, the relative strength index. It's going to get dropped on the weekend. So if you're in between things to do and you want to get your education on and sharpen your trading skills for the Monday Open, have a watch on that video. RSI video being dropped by the team here collectively. And if you're newer to trading, goes without saying, obviously, go to the what? Go to the bar?
The mouthful of food is absolutely.
I don't understand what the hell she's saying.
Yeah, it's so much. It's the food.
She stresses me out. You stress me out, Ram. All right. It's like 1:59, Joseph. All right, I'm gonna hold this position while I'm on the green screen. I'm gonna really open up my spot, I'm gonna give my stop a bit more room, so that way if it comes down against me, I can fill. But I have a feeling, if I can just show the chart, CDT is putting in higher lows, and it really looks like it wants to take that flat top at around 360. So I'm gonna continue to hold this position. The Katina man's on the Tesla right now. He's gonna talk all about it. He's printing up a storm. It's time to send it to Neil. It's time to send it to Sean. Joseph and I will be sitting back, same bat time, same bat channel. See you guys.
Massive. What a massive midday show.
I love
that show.
Joe listed all the things this weekend, which is great. Stay busy, have fun. I don't think I heard the Super Bowl.
No, he's not interested. He's not interested.
He's not watching the Super
He's not
Bowl.
interested.
Okay. No.